What is going on, everybody? This is episode 617 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. I am sitting across from a defeated man.
God help me!
It's Woman Wednesday again, and it's going to be a special one.
Estrogen everywhere!
We wrangled in Sara from Maids back into the studio. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good. Happy to be here.
Yes, we're happy to have you. I felt like, okay, the first time she's on the show is when we're gone. Like, should I be offended?
I was offended.
I was offended? I'm so
I was
sorry.
slightly offended. No, I'm kidding.
I just, I was tricked. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was lied to and tricked by this one across the seat from me.
It had to be done. But we have the two Saras today. Yeah.
But I'm glad I ripped the Band-Aid off, so I'm here today with you guys. So I'm happy to be here.
It's going to be fun. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, and also with us...
Hey, I'm still here.
Yes.
I was kicked out of my seat and my laptop was given away to someone else, but it's okay. I'm here and I'm excited to be here.
We got the new Sara now.
Yeah, right? I get it. It's fine.
That's what happens. You just we don't buy Saras here. We lease them. We just trade them up for newer models. That's what happens.
We would always rather have both.
Yes, exactly. And it wouldn't. I feel like it makes it more Women Wednesday if there's three of you somehow. Just a simple.
You were already outnumbered, but
a simple 2-to-1 isn't necessarily indicative of making it Women Wednesday. But I suppose
we've broken Brett. He's been Brett broken.
The sad thing is I'm choking on the estrogen this room is filled with right now, and I would make a joke about sending you all to the kitchen, but I'm not going to do that, and women don't know how to be funny anyways.
No, yeah, we'll go to the kitchen and you can go to war.
Exactly.
Yeah, I liked it.
I've aged out of the draft, so I'm good.
We'll build us a house.
Oh shit! Damn, I always forget that.
Yep, I'm good. You can't send me nowhere. I'm an elder in this society now. So what do we got to talk about today? We got a bunch to discuss, but before we get started, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Please and thank you. Share these videos with your friends, these live streams with your friends. The more people that come in here, hang out, and watch this show, the faster this show grows. It really is the best way that you can help us. And also remember, all Super Chats, $20 and over, we will interrupt the discussion. We will read those Super Chats right then and there, and then we will do our level best to get back on topic. At least I will try to do that.
Our level best.
Level best. When I'm multitasking, it's not always so eloquent. It's really funny.
It might be chaotic today.
It's going to be a little bit chaotic. So what are we going to talk about? Well, I put a poll up for you guys in the chat. I said, you must pick one. Taylor Swift or Brie Larson? I asked that question because Taylor Swift had a meeting with Kevin Feige, the COO over at Marvel, obviously the #1 guy in charge of the MCU, and there's rumors of her playing either the Blonde Phantom or Dazzler. Take your pick. They were not comics that I read, but we're gonna get into it because right now the MCU is struggling and they need somebody of Taylor Swift's fame to supposedly fix it. I don't think she can.
Got a $20 from Corey Anderson. I showed my wife the anniversary super chat yesterday when she got home. Her response, "That's sweet. Who's the girl? She's pretty and smart. She thinks your jokes are stupid too."
Exactly.
I'm glad we have common ground on that.
Perfect. So I thought she was like, and she yelled at me for sending the super chat or something. Like
I hope not. I don't want PCC to break up any marriages.
So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the fact that Marvel struggles for other reasons, not just them, but DC and all of these other companies, because Gen Z doesn't give a crap about superheroes.
So
they've moved on.
It is superhero fatigue after all. Or actually, they just never cared in the first place.
That would be a better answer, that millennials are starting to not care and Gen Z never cared. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about a fantastic thing that Mary introduced me today. Do you know what HAGMAXXING is?
Yes.
HAGMAXXING, it's Gen Z men are apparently, they're not even going to bother trying to date Gen Z women. They're just going to go find millennial women. I personally find it insulting that they would call women in their 30s hags, hence
For the
term
millennial women,
HAGMAXXING.
I don't know if they're going to like take it as a compliment because the Gen Z men want to date them, or like an insult that they're being called hags.
Yeah, and look, this is an iFunny post. The best part about this is I'm just going to assume it's real because Gen Z's language makes no sense anyways.
That's fine.
I was also watching this thing the other day where this teacher, he creates terms that sound like Gen Z slang and then gaslights his students into believing they're real. So he'll make whole videos where he lists about like 3 terms, then he just weaves it into the conversation and just tells them they're wrong. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the feminist war on toxic male gamers, because there was this video from, I guess it was like Friday of last week, that went fairly viral, where this woman is basically talking down, and we're going to get into that. We got a bunch of other stuff. So if all of you ladies can actually make up your mind about something and tell me, are you ready? Sarah?
I don't know. I gotta do my hair, fix my makeup.
Other Sarah.
Do I look okay?
Check back with me later.
Okay. Perfect. A whole bunch of incongruous answers. It's just like being surrounded by women. This is awesome. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? First things first, I have fantastic news for longtime viewers of this show. Chet Hanks has, in fact, declared 2024 a white boy summer.
It's happening
I'm
again.
excited.
It is.
They can't stop him.
I suppose this is one of those things that might require some explanation to people who aren't terminally online, or
People remember
or
White Boy
brains don't
Summer.
remember
Yeah,
2021.
I can use it. An explanation.
Okay, so in
Yeah.
2021, Chet Hanks, he's the son of Tom Hanks, released a rap song called "White Boy Summer." And, you know, he spoke in a patois accent, in a Jamaican accent, and got dunked on, and he kind of just, like any good person does in that situation, rolled with it and didn't let the criticism, however valid people may have found it, bother him.
Brett,
So now every
I just
summer,
sent you the link to the original Chet video so that we can give you the context.
Okay, we
this
will
was
do
his
that.
original announcement in 2021.
Hey guys, look, I just wanted to tap in.
okay, he's got a problem already.
What?
If you're a content creator, and especially if you come from a family with money, please, you guys can't see here, please pay the $1 to have the watermark.
Oh no,
removed
this
from
is
your
someone
video.
reposting it.
Oh,
it's not Chet's
okay,
fault.
okay.
It's not Chet's fault.
I was worried there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Really quick, I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is, it's about to be a white boy summer. You know, take it how you want. I'm not talking about like Trump, you know, NASCAR type white. I'm talking about, you know, me, John B., Jack Harlow type white boy summer. You know what I mean? Let
I
me know
disavow the Jack Harlow part of
Me
this
too.
discussion.
Yeah.
if you guys can vibe with that and get ready, you know, because I am. What's up, loved ones?
Okay.
Love buns.
So then the point is then it became a meme. It
Yeah.
became a meme, and he made a rap song, and it's hilarious. It's awesome. I'm not playing it because we're gonna get copyrighted
Yeah.
for it.
We
And
don't want the smoke.
So this year, he got pulled over the other day by a cop for not having license plates on his car.
Because he was just in the thick of white boy summer and he just didn't pay attention.
But there
He
was
didn't know.
early days of this podcast. We did what were called Chet formations, because Chet reinvented himself into a fitness influencer and would give you motivating speeches on his Instagram story every day. So every day I would pull up various Chet formations. Now he's acting again, and he's got his business and whatever. I don't know what he does, but
He's still the only celebrity we follow on the Pop Culture Crisis
Yes.
Instagram account because, you know, the OG crisis actors know that Chet just has a special place in our hearts, and he always will.
And it's not just that. Chet also had to explain the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef to his dad because his dad's old.
Yeah. Old Tom sent him a text and just asked him for a brief rundown.
Of
Wanna
what was going on.
read it
from
to
that.
us?
I mean, it's
It's like a whole essay, so
kinda
we're not
like-
going to go there.
is it
But
kind of
Written in a
dissertation?
patois, or is it?
I don't know if it's possible to write.
It's
in
actually really
patois.
funny. So he says, yeah, so Drake and this other dude, J. Cole, been saying they, along with Kendrick, are the big three in rap. Then Kendrick put out a song saying, F the big three, it's just big me. And now you have to imagine as you're reading this, you're Tom Hanks. and
With
you're
your
old
reading
and
glasses on, and you're holding the
They're
phone in the most
literally down-
boomer way possible.
he's literally,
And you're just like, I was just trying to connect with my son, and now I have to read this whole essay about rappers beefing.
yeah. And
Probably the longest text he's ever sent his dad.
very,
The most
very likely true.
interaction.
Yeah, but he's proving he's literate, so that's great.
We tried to get
Good
Chet on the
sign.
show, but Chet didn't. Chet was charging.
I
for
got a
appearances.
phone call with Chet, and he was just trying to sell me a product. I felt used. It wasn't nice.
His fitness plan.
Yeah, he was trying to sell me on his fitness program.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately. Would still love to have Chet on the show, Chet, if you're watching.
And here's him getting pulled over. I laughed at this because
He clearly thought it was hilarious.
He's a YouTuber now. He's got a YouTube channel. He had over 100,000 subscribers even before he made his first video. So, AstroTurfed, I can't say for sure. Or he's just that good.
Yeah.
He's just that good, and he's got a filmer in the car with him.
He's a natural born star.
He is.
He has the genetic of a star.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, you're gonna have to tell us what you think about Grand Theft Auto 6 because they're talking a lot about it still, and they're saying that they think it's gonna meet its 2025 date. I mean, I don't remember the last time a video game actually came out on time, anyways.
No.
Mm-mm.
Thoughts?
I don't expect it to be, I don't know, crazy. Like how different can it be from all these other games is all I could say. It's like, how different could it be? I mean, I feel like most people do this when publishers, they want to get people excited for it. So they're going to be like, this is the best thing ever. They did the same thing with Starfield. Yeah. They blew it up. They overhyped it. And they're like, this is going to be the best game ever. And then it came out and everyone was disappointed. Same with Halo Infinite. Everyone was so excited. I was so excited. I love Halo. And then it kept being pushed back, did not come out on time.
They never.
And then it was like an empty shell of a game. And just now, it's so funny, like a week or two ago, they put out a trailer for the game, which is what the trailer should have been when the game came out 2 years later. So, yeah, I don't really have high expectations. GTA is a fun game, but I don't really expect it to be mind-blowing.
It's been, 13 years or something?
And I mean, all the things that are shocking about Grand Theft Auto aren't really shocking anymore.
No, it's just life.
We have the internet, man.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen everything.
Yeah. just as an aside, I just decided, have you ever played the Florida Man game where you Google your name and then or your date of birth and then Florida Man?
Yeah.
What's yours?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think it was something to do with an alligator. Me
too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something to do with that.
So I just decided to Google Florida Man for today to see what comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Man wanted in Florida shooting found folded in dryer. I wonder if that would be in there. Florida man on the run from police, hiding in clothes dryer, deputies say.
Cool.
So I don't want to I don't want to out anybody's date of birth here, or if anybody wants to do that. I am in a room full of ladies after all.
Man says hookah smoking caterpillar sent him to the liquor store.
That's from a song.
To destroy it. Yeah, he said he told police he was Alice in Wonderland and that a hookah smoking caterpillar ordered him to attack a construction site.
Yeah.
Is that that's a Jefferson Airplane song, right? Is that, who does that? Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Florida man.
I like mine.
Drunken Florida man drops his pants, yells, "Where's my weapon?" while exposing himself to deputies.
That's yours?
Tame. That's pretty tame. I mean,
Very tame
there's
for
a lot
Florida.
of them. Yes, it is. There's plenty of them, though. Lots of stories like that. And you're right. Like, video games now are very different in the age of the internet, where you see crazy stuff like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is go on Twitter for 10 seconds, and you'll find something crazier.
I feel like
than
my
what you see on
eyes.
this. So, and I agree with you 100% that it likely won't come out on time, because games don't ever come out on time.
Yeah, and most games are just being overhyped because every game recently has been underwhelming.
And you have to, I mean, it's the brands, they have to do that. It's kind of like, I actually used to make this point, like, so if you ever watched WWE or WWF, they would always make this thing where, like, the announcer would be like, it's the biggest match of all time. Like, it would mean more if you didn't say that every pay-per-view, that it's the biggest. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a law of diminishing returns, because eventually one of those matches was the biggest match of all time, and it won't matter because every other match has been called that. So if you keep saying it's the greatest game ever made, it's going to be the greatest game ever made. It tends to seem like that falls now more towards games that don't get the publicity and then just get good word of mouth.
Did you see the trailer for it when it leaked?
Yes, we actually did a thing where we joked that we were playing it on Gamer Maids, and it's but just to get people.
All right, let's talk about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's now confirmed that Margot Robbie is going to be starring in a Pirates of the Caribbean film by producer Jerry Bruckheimer. He just did an interview with Variety. He confirmed it will be a spin-off starring Margot Robbie, so she is not going to be in any way a replacement of Jack Sparrow, but obviously they're not getting Johnny Depp back.
I want to yell
so
at
it's
Variety.
never happening.
Then it's not going to be good.
So it's not
no
Pirates
Johnny
of the Caribbean,
Depp.
Before we
right?
started, I have to yell at Variety because they said Pirates of the Caribbean producer would bring back Johnny Depp. Jerry Bruckheimer is not just a producer. It would be like saying Star Wars director instead of George Lucas.
Well, how dare they?
I am offended on Jerry Bruckheimer's behalf.
He also confirmed
respect.
there's going to be a reboot of the franchise as well, written by Jeff Nathanson. I had never heard of him, but he wrote The Lion King.
Dude,
But
Pirates of
this isn't going to have Johnny Depp.
Yeah, well, and he's the one that made these movies. The only reason why Pirates of the Caribbean is so popular is because of Johnny Depp. Without him, just make a different pirate movie.
They're not capable of doing that.
Right? It's like, why are we
They can't do
doing
it.
this? We're like, aren't you guys tired of watching the same thing over and over again? And it just keeps getting worse.
They would just spontaneously combust if they attempted to write a new story.
He is one of those
brain would
actors that
melt.
would be very hard to, like, I saw somebody talking recently about, like, a remake of Edward Scissorhands, and I'm just like,
With whom?
Why?
I'm saying, like, no, that's the question. Like, it doesn't matter because it won't be as good.
It feels like they're specifically going for the things that Johnny Depp was in, though.
I mean,
Or just good actors. Well, because I feel like it might just be that these are just very popular movies, and they think that they can do it again. But these weren't because of the like the writing helped and everything. But I mean, these actors are what did it. I feel like.
Yeah.
there's several 20s there that I missed.
Crap.
Sorry about that
Sorry,
one, guys.
guys. Sorry about that. So, Shane H. Wilder? Or is it is I. The Gamer Maids lady is very pretty. Hi, Brett.
You should have
thank
you should
you.
have merch that says the Gamer Maids lady.
I really want to, honestly. Well, actually, I just recently, on like where we talk in the company, you can have your title. I just made it the Gamer Maid.
Oh,
Just for fun, because I saw that Kara's was email lady, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the gamer maid.
You're the gamer maid lady.
There's a couple more.
And you're the coffee lady, so I was like, okay, I'm the gamer maid.
Potatoes for Seamus said, OMG, Sara on PCC makes us reminisce all the good times of Old Cast Castle when she slapped Kilstein and even blessed us with her amazing piano skills.
That's like a lifetime ago.
That was a good day.
That was like 3 Timcast seasons ago.
It was nice though, because like I started here and then I just immediately had like a diary of everything that's happened every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
those
get
are all
to know
real.
people before you even meet them, which is cool.
I studied everyone. Pat the Plumber said, yo, Gamer Maids in the house.
Yo,
You added the Y though.
let's do it, you guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, remaking Johnny Depp movies is never a good idea. They'll probably do Sweeney Todd again soon. I would almost bet. There's a lot of those movies from his career that will end up getting remade. And they should never remake Sleepy Hollow, though, even though that's probably one they will because there's franchise potential.
He just said, if we had the option, I would love to have Johnny Depp, but, if it were my say.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is up to you, ultimately,
Well,
as the producer.
because he's literally saying that Depp just probably won't come back because there won't be enough money in the world for him to work
Get
with
the
Disney
alpacas,
again.
rally the alpacas, and make it happen, or don't try at all.
It's crazy. $4.5 billion is the global box office for Pirates movies. Now, a lot of that is overseas. If I remember correctly, and somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, the movies still do fine here in America, but it's really it's outside the U.S. where those movies really do big money, right? And that is because of Johnny Depp, but maybe that's probably because other countries still believe that we do export movie stars here, or we used to export movie stars. So a franchise like that isn't really going to do the overseas numbers without Johnny Depp. So I think they'll end up seeing it fall flat on its face.
Thank you. Not even Margot Robbie, though?
Maybe, I don't know.
Wait, is this a party?
Yes. It's the dancing.
The crisis party.
Thank you, guys.
Start making a shame list for the people who don't dance during the...
Put me on the top of that list.
I will do that.
Tisk.
Tisk.
I have danced. I've danced once for you guys.
It's so yeah.
But Margot Robbie has star power.
Yeah,
That's true.
she could do it.
But now, then make her.
I mean,
own pirate movie.
Barbie had star power.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, okay.
Well, I guess, she was in the ensemble of Amsterdam. That didn't do well.
No,
I'm just counting on
So, again-
losing my eye. Like everyone thinks I'm gonna lose my eye. I'll have my eye patch and I'll go see the new Pirates movie with Margot Robbie in it.
like she's right now. I mean, her most famous role is probably playing Harley Quinn.
Not Barbie yet?
And I mean, okay,
I'm
so
surprised.
between those two, right? Barbie and Harley Quinn, and before that it was The Wolf of Wall Street.
But Suicide Squad didn't do well. I thought most people.
But I'm saying the character itself is very, very
yeah.
popular. Actually, the first Suicide Squad movie did do fine money, just not as much as it should have made.
Okay.
I think it made like $680 million. I could be completely.
It was bad.
I mean, 680 million back then was.
I mean, the
better than
movie.
it is
The
now.
movie was bad, not
Yes,
the money.
correct.
Yeah.
And then the second Suicide Squad movie, which she was in, didn't make any money. 'cause
Birds
it
of
was-
Prey.
Yeah, and Birds of Prey didn't make any money. So the point is, I don't know if it's necessarily her star power as much it is that she's attached herself to properties and characters that lend itself to strong, like, intellectual property.
Yeah.
Well, do you think she did a good job, or do you think it was the writing of the movie themselves?
She did a good job. I
Yeah,
mean,
because I did watch all of her, like, all those movies, and I enjoyed them just because I enjoyed watching, like, her play the character, but I did think that the movies weren't great.
there was
overall.
she did really good with the vocalization. The voice was good for what she had to work with, and I think the biggest missed potential there was just not leaning into the abuse storyline with the Joker. But they never wanted to take that character
too
that
spicy.
direction. Yeah, they were always going to move away
That's
from
too
that.
spicy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is too spicy.
Unfortunately, like you can't like be accused of glamorizing it. Basically, like that's what they
okay.
were afraid of.
So,
But
So they
Euphoria
cut-
came out.
They cut all those scenes, but Euphoria came out and no one minds.
she
so
she doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
the
don't
star
know.
power that Johnny Depp has.
No.
But we'll wait and see. We'll see what that does. And again, $4.5 billion is a lot of money for a franchise that's kind of built off
you
of
getting
one
harassed?
actor.
A stink bug did land in my hair.
Oh, no.
And it was crawling around in it.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty sure it sprayed me.
Ah,
So, but yeah, that's
It
what's
got
going
you.
on over here. You
I'm
couldn't ignore
sorry.
me.
Like if
It's all
you
good.
think about it, like the Marvel movies making the money that they do, it's because it's Marvel. You could make the argument that Robert Downey Jr. is the biggest, draw that they had as an actor. But Pirates of the Caribbean lives and dies on one actor, and almost $5 billion on the back of one person is quite an accomplishment.
Well, I mean, they made a Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp. Obviously, it wasn't as successful. I believe, was it the third or fourth one?
I
the
don't know.
He wasn't in.
2017 one, right?
Yeah, there was one he wasn't
I thought
in.
the first 4 he was in.
Yeah.
I only watched those.
Yeah, I don't know. There was
Wasn't
like
interested.
one that they made where he wasn't in it, right?
He's,
or he was like barely
he-
in it. He wasn't a main character,
Yeah. So
and
Is
it was
it
still pretty
called,
successful.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
That was the last
Yes,
one.
I
Yeah.
believe it's that one.
Yeah. So that was starring. No, I'm pretty sure Johnny Depp. It says that he was in the cast on this one,
but in it less.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
barely in it, not a main
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
like he was in the first couple.
right
I
before
think only the
everything came
first 2
crashing
movies
down.
were good.
Disney will have
for
to back
sure.
up the money truck for him if they want to get him to do it.
Back up the alpaca truck. Make it happen, y'all.
All right, time to. So I originally we were going to talk about, what was it, Kelly Clarkson? Originally, right?
Yeah. Well, Kelly Clarkson was accused of being on Ozempic because of her public weight loss, but she denied it. But with the growing popularity of this weight loss drug, I think that the companies are going to start rolling in their ideas for using customers as cash cows. And now Nestle has announced they're making a line of frozen foods specifically made for people who are on Ozempic. And the other one is called Wegovy, right?
Wow.
They're making frozen foods specifically for these people who are taking this drug. And
I knew
it's a
Alex Clark would
diabetes
have
drug.
something to say about this.
Yeah, it's a diabetes drug. If you don't know, you're not actually supposed to take it if you don't have diabetes, but it basically just makes you sick and you don't have an appetite, so you feel like you've eaten all the time, which is kind of, it sounds like a
That's
great
so
solution, but it's
unhealthy.
actually like, yeah, it really
I don't even see how
F's
that would
you up.
help you that much. if
What
you're
happened to
diabetic.
willpower?
What happened to cocaine?
See, it's legal in Canada,
What happened
right?
to good old fashioned Coke?
What happened? No, like
I wonder what it tastes like, though. I really do.
models of old will be like, back in the day, we just took diet pills.
Those are still on the
I thought those were a
market.
scam, though. I thought those were
They
just
are.
sugar
They take
pills
care
Take
of-
that
caffeine pills.
we're supposed to just
Actually, I
kind
shouldn't say
of.
that. Never mind.
We don't advocate
Don't do
any
any of it. Just
illegal
exercise.
or legal drug use whatsoever.
Right.
But anyway, Nestle, who owns DiGiorno and Stouffer's, is now going to sell a $5 line of frozen pizzas and pastas in the U.S. designed specifically for people taking drugs such as Wegovy or Ozempic? Why do you think processed food brands are giving a big thumbs up to semaglutides?
My favorite part
Can
of
you
this-
solve the puzzle?
My favorite part of this is the derisive tone in which Alex Clark typed DiGiorno
Can
and
you
Stouffer's.
solve this
Yes.
riddle? No. We love Alex Clark, but
We
she's
do.
just very opinionated about the chemicals that are in food these days.
I mean, it is bad.
It is
but-
bad. I agree with her, but I'm still going to eat frozen pizza and not care.
Yes,
Sorry.
exactly.
It is what it is.
And it kind of felt like when Oprah basically said, like, I'm leaving Weight Watchers because I'm taking,
I'm exploring other options.
we've as a society have collectively given up on the idea of willpower. And
Well,
of just doing
I
it the
think that the
old-fashioned way.
celebrities like collectively gave up on the lie that they don't care about being skinny, because we just found out that they all care about being skinny. They just didn't want to put in the work.
Yeah.
That's what's always bothered me about celebrities is like they used to lie, like when they asked Kylie Jenner, like, are those your real lips or whatever, or J-Lo, like, how do you look so good? You're 40 years old, and they're like, oh, I just drink a lot of water. It's like, no, we want to know what
always
you're
reason.
doing,
Or
so
they
we
make a
can do that.
skincare brand that they don't even use and be like, this is how. And it's like, no, it just came out.
It's always
be the reason.
Ozempic, plastic surgery, facelifts, and that weird moisturizer that has like pulverized baby foreskins in it.
That's the
stuff.
secret to youth.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they would get in trouble for saying adrenochrome.
Right.
They
you
can't
say
mention
that.
baby's
there you
blood, or you get in trouble for some reason. That's crazy.
But they make you fat, and then they sell you the product that you need to get skinny, and then they make you fat again.
Yeah, America.
It's a carousel.
It's
world.
it's kind of it just feels defeatist to
world
me
now.
to be like, we're just gonna give up and say that the only way to do it is through some type of medicalized form.
In a way, wouldn't it feel better to like give yourself the credit that you worked hard
No one
for-
cares about that these days.
I guess not.
Well, no, because you've got the fitness influencers doing all of that, and then they sell you their unrealistic body image issues because they work out, 3 times a day. And I love
Probably
the
take
videos
steroids.
where it's like, well, that's the other thing. So now, whenever an actor does lose weight, they're kind of screwed in the same way that an actor who gets in good shape and builds muscle, they say steroids, right? So now you lose. Imagine it's kind of like when Nicolas Cage put on all that muscle to play Ghost Rider, and then they accused him of using CGI abs. He's like, I'm never getting in shape for a role again because they're just going to accuse you of
Y'all don't
faking it.
appreciate me.
So like what's the point of putting in 6 months of work to get skinny, or to put on a bunch of muscle, or a year to put on a bunch of muscle, and then just have people like, oh, you used some type of medication for it.
It's it's funny because Jensen Ackles got mad because he did put in all the work, but then people were like, "Oh, you could have just used like muscle pads under the suit."
He's like, I don't want to use muscle pads.
So he wanted to. He's like, "Why didn't you give me that option in the first place?"
That's better.
Yeah, he's
That's
like,
better.
I mean, he's happily married. He's like, I didn't need to do this.
here's
He
the
was
thing.
healthy before, anyways. It's not like he wasn't.
In Aquaman 2,
It did look good though.
Aquaman 2, Jason Momoa clearly was not in the same shape he was in earlier. But when he's wearing the outfit, it's got the muscle pads and it's fake looking, but then he looks a little
Over the beer gut.
He looks a little Pillsbury Doughboy in the rest of the scenes, and it's one thing for that, but it's another thing when you're drastically going back and forth between the costume and your regular outfit, and there's like a drastic difference in what you look like.
True.
So,
But that's like the charm of it. He's like in the dad bod when he's in dad mode, and he's in suit
that's what
when
it
he's
is.
being the hero.
it's actually a superpower to
Yeah.
just to have a dad bod. Okay, all right. Let's talk a little bit about this thing with Twitch. This was interesting because first of all, this didn't make any sense to me because I thought that they had reversed their position on implied nudity anyways back in like January. But it says Twitch announces a new feature that will allow you to blur sexual content.
Allow you.
Allow you.
I just think that's funny.
This is what it says. It says Twitch now lets you filter out and blur unwanted sexualized content. It's like no matter where you go, you can't look away. It's just like every button you push, it does that. So
It's inescapable on that platform.
is.
I think the TOS changes were going back and forth so much, I don't even remember what they settled on. But they said like you can't just put like a moving image over your tits, like a black bar over your tits and stream like that. You can't do
excuse
that.
me, I thought this was America.
Right? They ruled against implied nudity in the end, right?
So it says last year Twitch introduced content classification labels for streamers to tag their streams. Accordingly, this has been used to filter out streams that include mature content, sexual themes, gambling, drug use, and more. Further, there's now an option to blur stream thumbnails with sexual themes. So it's like, you won't let me use the black bar, so now you have to blur it in a different way because they keep getting away with it. It says this is just done specifically so that your homepage will not be filled with inappropriate imagery. Well, all the 14-year-old boys want their homepage to be filled with inappropriate imagery, unfortunately. That's the problem, right? It shouldn't be there at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is that they never even addressed the issue of like rampant predators on the platform either.
And the problem is the teenage boys are the ones who are going to go looking for this stuff because, you know, the porn is everywhere on the internet. And they can't seem to settle on a theme of what they want to do as far as banning content. Yeah. So it says Twitch updated its guidelines multiple times to prohibit sexualized content as streamers found new ways to push the limits. They really do. The Twitch women
They're very creative.
are among the most creative people in history. They really are.
Hoes are creative.
They are.
Yeah,
They will find
really
a way.
Quote that. Hoes are creative.
What do you call the ugly princess? Creative.
There. You've got a great personality. That's what you have to say. That's the consolation prize you get. But men have to learn that as well. If you're not handsome, you gotta learn, or you're short, you have to learn how to.
Are there like
get
male
around one way or
streamers
another.
who stream shirtless? Is that a thing? Where they have
Well,
like,
no, have the audience for
Theirs
it,
would be
right?
like sitting there being like, tell me about your problems, and just nodding.
Yeah.
I understand. I care. You are so
Yeah.
right. You are
doesn't
so much
a man
prettier."
that listens? Doesn't Hassan
That's what women
Piker?
want.
Doesn't Hassan Piker have like a majority female audience on Twitch?
It probably skews female. I think somebody said. I mean, is there really that many women that are that interested in
His political
leftist politics?
commentary.
I mean, there are
That's
women
actually. I had a friend. That's how I first heard about him, and she's super like liberal, and she was like in love with him because she just said he's the hottest thing in the world.
Ew.
And so I think people who are not political find him and then become polarized through his ideologies.
He's
throwing that out there.
radicalizing them with his good looks. Question mark.
That's rough. It really would be. It would be a guy would be like, wow, that's really interesting. Wow, tell me more. Yeah, wow. You are so right. Your friend was so wrong.
And you're so much prettier, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. Just don't listen to
You
her.
need a big
She's ugly
tip.
anyways.
$20 tip.
I love it.
All right. What would you guys like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
We have a lot of cringe.
I'll let Sarah choose. We could do a cute sandwich. We could do cute then
I do
cringe.
love
No,
looking at
the
cute
cringe-
pictures of animals, but
The cringe is all themed, so we can't do a cute.
It's
sandwich.
special.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. No
So
cute
what would you like to
sandwich
see
for you.
first? The cringe or the cute?
we'll do cringe first, so then we can, clean our palate with the cute
Yes,
afterwards.
yes,
I like
obviously.
that.
Solid
agree.
logic. Solid logic. All right. Well, then let's look at the cringe first. First one here.
It's all JoJo Siwa.
It's all JoJo Siwa.
Before you even asked.
too.
Dude, I felt bad for her at first, but then I started listening to her interviews, and I was like,
She deserves it.
This
yeah,
is JoJo
like you're
Siwa.
doing it to yourself.
Please tell me it's dancing.
Cringing across the world.
It's dancing.
I'm not playing the song. I'm not
Should've
gonna-
known better if I had a wish.
She's
Messed
built like
around.
a basketball player.
No,
She's
built
really
like a
tall.
She just looks like a
linebacker.
lesbian.
Well,
but
she's
I think that's
actually-
the goal.
She's like 5'10" in real life.
Okay,
Is she really? So she's
tall.
tall.
She's pretty tall.
I'm picturing like all of the like a guy just off camera going like.
It's worse than 9/11.
Oh my god.
Imagine the person
This is
she
horrifying.
stopped in traffic to do that.
Okay, remember that like dance influencer that you like showed me that video of her in Sam's Club dancing in Sam's Club? And I was like, this is incredibly cringe. And you were like, no, it's not. She's
No.
talented.
I said that she turned it into millions of followers in a career.
So did JoJo.
Yeah.
So who are you
she
to
had
hate
a
on
career
JoJo?
already.
Yeah, she didn't have to do this.
She had,
Yeah, she did.
she had a career already.
That's true.
She chose to dance in a street.
You know, actually, Sarah is pretty good at hitting the siwa.
Yeah.
Hitting
Or whatever that
Siwa.
dance move is. Was that you or Kara doing that the other day?
Oh,
Maybe
we were
I
all
didn't
doing
do
it
that.
because we were joking.
Yeah.
What were we joking? Was it before the
forget.
workout as a warm up? We were like, oh, let's not actually work out because we were just we're joking about not working out and dancing instead. And then someone said it was like walking the dog. What? I don't remember now, but it was about like walking the dog or something.
What's her dance move called?
That's like we're trying to name it, and then
it looks
Kara
like
tried
she's
to,
like whipping someone almost.
Yeah, and like stomping on a
Like stomping on-
cockroach. At the same time.
So this says, if someone told me JoJo Siwa got drunk at Disney World and forced people to sing her lyrics, I'd believe them, even without seeing this.
I should have known better.
Oh, they don't even know the lyrics.
Dude, no, none of them are interested at all. The lyrics are like repetitive too.
Oh my
it's not hard to
goodness.
remember, just people don't care.
Why is she getting drunk at Disney?
So drunk, dude. Just the way
She's a mess.
She's hot.
Is anyone there to mind her?
Happy birthday.
Man.
Happy birthday, girl.
I think people are only filming this because they,
Because she's a clown.
yeah, well, yeah, and they know that people will look at the video because
Yeah.
she is getting a lot of views and clicks on her videos because people enjoy cringe and, you know.
Well, yeah, and I think also people just flock to clout.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they probably just know
And-
she is a person. They've probably never even heard whatever song she's singing. I mean, possibly. but
Right.
I think also they're just like,
She
oh,
thinks
that's a
it's the
famous
biggest
person.
song in
Right.
the world. She
Dude,
just
she
thinks
thinks she's the-
everyone knows the lyrics.
She thinks she's like the first, like, it was something where she was like, she's the first influencer to also be a singer. And I just was like, what?
Wait, she really said that?
You should, like, someone should try to find this video because it was
Wait.
it was bad. It wasn't in
Let
an
me
interview.
look.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, she should have been a WNBA player.
Like, I'm the first child star to ever start a music career.
yeah. And it's like, that's, nope.
Hannah Montana?
Dude, she was the best. I loved Hannah Montana as a kid, I'm not gonna lie.
And then-
On my Hello Kitty CD player, I would play the Hannah Montana.
You're adorable.
Yeah, she said JoJo Siwa claims to be the first influencer or content creator to become a musician. Yep.
So she's the Jennifer Lawrence of the music industry.
I can't.
The first female action star. And then there's this one.
It's my 21st birthday.
Oh,
She's got
it's
like
bad already. It's
she's got
bad already.
smoking aunt voice.
Start it from the top.
It's my 21st birthday. I'm drunk as fuck right now. Something over there. It's my bread I'm supposed to eat. I got punched in the eye. It was really bad, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Is there a study done on child stars? Like she, and what happens to them? Because she, you know, I think
This
she
is
was
it.
kind of bred into narcissism, and being told that she was a star from like the age of 2, and this is what the outcome is. Please do not do that to your children.
Yep.
Says you just know someone gave her a Capri Sun and told her it was alcohol.
I'm sorry, your kid does something good. Do
totally
not
do that
just
for
be like, oh my God, you're so smart. Like, don't do that. Don't do that to your kids.
Well, also, this is probably someone who's like really pushed. Like, you see those parents that like really push their kids
Yes.
to
Well, and
be dance moms.
she
or
was though. I mean,
dance
if you
star,
watch
child
any
star.
videos of her dance moms, her mom did push her. Her mom was, you know, she comes from crazy.
Doing that dance of hers and she like hit herself
Yeah.
on
Yeah, she
on a
injured
shelf.
herself while doing the Siwa.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Was she from the Dance Moms? Was
Yeah.
she on
Yes.
Yeah, she was very.
She got picked
Okay.
up by Nickelodeon.
there? Okay. Oh, poor, I
That's
almost feel
that's
bad
enough
for her.
cringe.
Let's look at cute.
Yeah,
My
it's cute
21st
time.
birthday and I'm super drunk right now.
I'm so drunk right now.
I should have sent you guys the picture of my cat because the reason why I wasn't here last Wednesday is because he got surgery. But his eyes, man, were so he was. You know, they.
If you
you know,
send
they
me
like.
Slack, I can.
Oh really?
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I'll send it right now because
Send it on
he was
Slack.
very drugged up when he got home and you could not see his very beautiful blue eyes. Let me see if I let
God
me
is
send
a bitch.
I feel like she's gonna end up having a Vegas residency
Ugh.
in like 2 years.
That would
She's
be
too young to have
best
like
case.
no.
No, she's gonna age like 20 years in 2 years.
You
and
have
then
to be
she's
like
gonna
an
end up there.
established long-term musician because the people that go
She's
to
gonna
Vegas
wheel
residencies
herself
are old.
in. She's gonna wheel herself in and be like, "Come as a bitch."
Yeah, she's just
I was a bad girl.
This is from Corey Anderson. This is from Corey. Says, my boy Barley and his friend Zoe came over for a visit. Zoe is a rescue that was mistreated and needed a lot of love to be around people again. Now she is one of the friendliest pups you will ever meet.
They have a dog play date.
That is amazing.
That's cute.
Did you send it?
Yeah, I did
All right.
send it, and but I'll send you.
I think it's in the...
It does look a little scary.
Oh my goodness.
Because
I
he
love
came
it.
back. So this
And
is why I wasn't here last Wednesday.
He has blue eyes
You should
normally.
He has
before and
very
after.
bright blue eyes.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
That
can.
doesn't even look like him.
Nope. I have one of my other two cats. That's
Bro.
Merlin and Clint. Clint is the white one, and then Merlin's the tuxedo.
No.
But
That's nice.
yeah, but
Very
yeah, he
polite.
he has very blue eyes normally. But yeah, he came
this
home
one
and I
is-
felt so
Is
bad.
this one Merlin or
Wait,
Clint?
zoom in on...
Clint is the white one.
This is Clint post surgery.
Yeah,
Whoa.
post surgery last Wednesday.
Tripping.
Yeah,
Just
very
tripping balls right there.
seeing shit.
Yeah, yeah, the poor baby. He was like wobbling and stuff.
Aw.
Oh, he definitely did not want to leave my side.
That's crazy.
That's what. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? We're only 40 minutes into the show. Mary, why don't you tell everybody why the MCU now has to rely on Taylor Swift to stay relevant? Ugh.
Taylor Swift is reportedly in talks with Marvel to join the MCU. She's either going to play the blonde Phantom or the Dazzler. No one is really sure yet because this came from a scooper. But I think that everyone knows Marvel has been struggling for quite a while now to actually make a profit on any of their movies and get anyone to watch any of their shows on Disney Plus. So maybe this is their last ditch effort to bring in an audience again, especially since they're trying to appeal to women. It keeps failing, and over again, we find women
don't
aren't
care.
interested in superhero movies.
You know what else they especially don't care about? They don't especially care about seeing women as
But maybe
superheroes.
if
women's
you put
sports.
Taylor Swift into a Marvel movie, they'll finally come watch because
Yeah.
they went to watch the Eras Tour movie, right? They turn out for her wherever it is
And the
she
football
is, like,
games,
wherever you can
right?
find her. They like gave a ton of revenue to the NFL, so they're thinking like, let's pull the Taylor Swift card. And maybe
cry
this
for
can
help.
save us
Yeah, it's genius.
from ruin, right?
that-
So
this-
she reportedly had a meeting with Kevin Feige to discuss a role in the MCU. And reportedly, they're developing a Blonde Phantom series for Disney Plus. Taylor Swift is being considered for that
That makes
role.
no sense.
And it's being described as a spy show set in the 1950s and taking place in Las Vegas.
If you're gonna pay whatever money you have to occupy any of her time, which imagine the amount of money she loses by working for Marvel.
I know, but
She will lose
maybe
money by working for Marvel. You
maybe
don't-
it's just a good excuse to stop touring, right?
But the thing is,
Yeah.
they shouldn't get
But
her
is
for
it
a
a break,
show. They
though?
should get her for a movie.
yeah.
Like, what is that gonna? So,
That's why they think the
Oh.
other option is that she might be in the next Deadpool movie.
Yes.
She might appear as Dazzler in the next Deadpool movie.
and that's
she
because
actually
she appeared with Ryan Reynolds and
she's friends with Ryan Reynolds
and Hugh
because she's
Jackman
besties with Blake Lively.
and Sean Levy all appeared at.
Do you have the fan video?
Yeah.
Apropos to Swifties, they're already creating conspiracy theories about this, so
Here we
this
go.
one is convinced.
This one, right? Mm-hmm.
Might be. Today, Marvel made an announcement that throws extra fuel onto the fire that Taylor Swift might be appearing as Dazzler in the upcoming movie Deadpool 3. Marvel's announcement today is concerning a new comic series that is coming out in September for Dazzler, and notice that says her world tour begins. And this is a big deal because the last time Dazzler had her own comic series was back in the 1980s. And before this, the real start of the rumor was back in October when she had the director as well as two of the main actors of Deadpool 3 in her VIP box office at the Chiefs game. As you can see here, director Sean Levy, along with Hugh Jackman and with Ryan Reynolds, were all there with her, so that threw a lot of fire on. But there's other rumors that have recently come up that kind of been hints. The song
This is
Clairvaux,
insane.
which is the
This
final
is a stretch.
song.
This part is a stretch.
All Swifties are just QAnon coded people. Anyways, they are. They all
she might
love-
have put an
on the
Easter
first
egg
part, the torture
in the
post
song.
She
part.
didn't.
It has these interesting lyrics that really cued me in a while back. You look like Taylor Swift. In this light, we're loving it. You've got edge she never did. The future's bright, dazzling.
She used the
Now,
word
Dazzler
dazzling.
is a mutant that has the power
So that
to
means
turn
she's in the
sound
MCU.
into
Like
light, and
hundreds
she's
of
also
songs.
a singer. And that clue of you in this light look like Taylor
People
Swift
are too bored.
and dazzling, all really, for me, just really keep pointing again about how Taylor could be dropping these Easter eggs.
You think she has
to
a
really,
whole
like,
team
entice us
of
and
people
clue us in
who
this whole
put
time?
together, like,
But what
actually
I
do
didn't
put
catch
together
until
these
today
Easter
when
eggs?
I re-reviewed the lyrics is
For
that
some
she's
of
just
them,
a
yeah. I
beast
don't think
that
this
roars
one,
down on all
though.
fours, demanding more. And I didn't really think about it then, but there was a limited comic series starring Dazzler and Beast back in the 80s as well called Beauty and the Beast. It was just a limited 4-issue run, but again...
I love the idea that she went out and, like, found the 4-issue run so that she could work it into her lyrics.
Is she crazy enough?
That she has long boxes full of comics at home because she's got all the time to read them.
I'm like, you put in these hints.
Taylor Swift has the same 24 hours we do.
And we are getting close to, like, the point of no return where eventually somehow the full synopsis of the movie in the next...
I'm with, in the chat, says, Dazzler drinks water, Taylor drinks water.
It makes sense.
Proof enough. Look, her playing Dazzler makes sense given that the character is a singer. I get that. Mm-hmm. She should not do a TV show. Because
if it's just a cameo in the next Deadpool movie, that makes more sense.
Yes, that's most likely what we're seeing here. And the idea that she would give up, I mean, it takes a long time to film a television show. Her time is money right now. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you that her team would say, you're going to hurt your career more than you're going to help it to take off however many months to film a TV show for Marvel. They will benefit from it more than you will. Mm-hmm. Look, the people who like Marvel are already aware of who she is. Wow. Her fans might not care about Marvel, but might go check out a movie. Disney Plus, they probably already have it. I mean, there's probably a strong overlap between Swifties and Disney adults.
They've been on this quest to find how like superhero movies can be appealing to women for a long time.
Also, somebody in the chat says Taylor Swift was in Amsterdam and it bombed. I mean, she was in it for all of like 8 minutes.
It was like 2 seconds. Yeah. I think it bombed for other reasons.
Yes.
Boosted Yogi sent a 20. Taylor Swift will be Rey Skywalker's new master in the next Star Wars trilogy. You heard it here first.
Hey, look, I put the poll up. I said like Taylor Swift or Brie Larson. Brie Larson would threaten people all the time with joining.
Who's winning?
With joining Star Wars. Taylor Swift is winning right now. It's pretty close.
Only by a little bit.
Yeah.
Who is more hated? I think Brie Larson. I think, honestly, Taylor Swift, if she joins the MCU, she could be one of the most attractive women in the MCU. And that could really help them because we were just talking about how they're actively uglying up their female stars.
I think Gemma Chan is the most attractive woman in the MCU.
I don't know what she looks like. If you want to
call that the MCU, Eternals was back in 2021 and nobody remembers it.
Nobody remembers Angelina Jolie being in it either.
Black Widow? No.
She's not really active in the MCU anymore. She's producing stuff, but she was
gorgeous.
Yes,
she was the prettiest.
But there's a lot. I mean, Haley Atwell's attractive. Elizabeth Olsen is attractive.
Oh, Elizabeth Olsen, yes.
Yeah.
She's very attractive. Mm-hmm.
But Gemma Chan is the only one that's been in a recent Marvel movie other than Elizabeth Olsen. So, we could be forgetting ones right now. And I'm not including the... if I was including it, I would have included the Netflix Marvel characters, which would have had Elodie Young. That's probably another one I would put on that list, but I don't think that technically counts because it's not the MCU. It's very weird to think about a person who's actually bigger than the entity that is Marvel, given how big Marvel was up until 2019. Now Marvel needs Taylor Swift more than Taylor Swift would ever need Marvel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that type of crossover just isn't necessary. Her doing the Phantom, the Blonde Phantom series, I don't see her having the time.
They would have to pay her an obscene amount of money for it to be considered.
What could be worse though? It's like the story when all the old people who take Marvel roles go, "I took it because my daughter or my son said that I should do a comic book character," and she does she have a brother or a sister? Does she have?
She has a brother.
She has a brother. It's like my brother said I should do a Marvel series. So
I mean, maybe it's a favor for her friend Ryan Reynolds. I know they're friendly, right?
Then the cameo makes more sense. Way more sense. You come in for a day to film it. That movie's already chock full, from what I've heard, of just tons of cameos, which is one of the most annoying things about these movies now, is it's just endless cameos rather than focusing on telling you the story.
Pogface, that is a celebrity. So there's another celebrity. Ooh, I'm so easily entertained. It's like dangling keys in front of a baby.
You're Gen Z. Do you care about superhero movies?
I did until Iron Man died.
There you go. Okay. Well, with that being said,
yeah. So more news in how Marvel is struggling right now. Millennials are losing interest in Marvel, and it turns out that Gen Z was never even interested in the first place. And this is confirmed in a new survey from Samba TV that says Gen Z doesn't even use Disney Plus, so they're obviously not watching the Marvel projects that are going to that streaming service. 59% of them use Netflix instead, and only 5% use Disney Plus. And also, this turns out in the results of their box office too.
Yes.
Gen Z isn't really attending the movies they're putting out, and millennials are slowly decreasing as well in their attendance. And they just aren't finding a way to sell these to Gen Z.
Well, I think the best that we could say is like they're trying to do that with Kamala Khan, and it doesn't.
It's not working. I mean, I just saw this tweet: Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop and Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan will be the leads in Young Avengers. Are you excited?
Literally, no. Said nobody ever.
Crickets. Crickets in response.
Like, what, so, I mean, Gen Z's more interested in social media content and video games.
I'm not. I like video games. I do like. I love action movies. I love one of my favorite shows is The Green Arrow.
Arrow, yeah.
I love Arrow a lot. One of my favorite shows. And then I did used to have Spider-Man sheets when I was a kid. So.
But Arrow was 2012, and the landscape for that type of television was very different back then.
Yeah,
and
it's
even
not the same.
CW's
ruined.
It became a soap opera by season 3 anyway.
I only liked the first season. Well, I really liked Slade Wilson, yes. So I really enjoyed that.
Season 5 was good. If you like, unfortunately though,
I couldn't get with the crossovers. I didn't want to watch The Flash. I didn't want to watch Legends of Tomorrow. I didn't want to watch any of them. Supergirl was the other one. They were not good, especially Supergirl. That was awful. I did enjoy Flash's first season, but it just got bad, and then I didn't want to watch the other ones, and then you couldn't follow the story in Arrow without watching the crossovers unless you wanted to completely skip that, but then they might make references back to it. So then I was like, I need to look this up.
Really only the first season of The Flash was really, really good. I enjoyed the first half of the Zoom storyline in season 2, but then after that I didn't really care. But the first season with Harrison Wells was really, really good.
I did enjoy that. I did watch that. In the first crossover with just The Flash and Arrow, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then they added all the other ones. Yeah. I did love that Sarah Lance was going to still be in a show, but then I just
they had to bring her back
$20 from Francisco Sanchez Jr. Can we just get the movie Cats with the buttholes restored? Some fetishists need that. Not me, though, I swear.
Well, we would never accuse you of that. We would never accuse you of that.
What?
Wasn't it their genitals that they had to blur out?
Yeah.
No thanks. I don't think cats should have come out in the first place, but
most would agree with you.
Yeah.
And I just think in general, Gen Z is just not interested in this type of content in the same way, because millennials and Gen X especially came from a time where just reading was far more common. Reading actual books and reading comic books was more a part of your childhood than, say, Gen Z, which would have grown up watching YouTube.
To the point where there was a stereotype of parents saying comic books aren't real books. Yeah. And now they would kill for their Gen Z children or Gen Alpha children to
A good example of somebody who's included Gen Z well would be WWE, who brought in Logan Paul and actually managed to use him very, very effectively within the company because he's fantastic, because everybody hates Logan Paul and he gets to come in and play a bad guy. And the weird type of type of juxtaposition there is in that industry, if you're a bad guy and you do really, really well, you're then oddly enough liked. It's harder to make a good guy now than it is to make a bad guy in that industry. So Logan Paul goes in there with he has obviously fighting experience and he's an athlete, but came in, took it very seriously, did really, really well, and won the respect of most of the people in the industry with very little prior history or even matches to go off of. And that brings in an audience of people who may have not already been interested. You can't really do that with Taylor Swift. That's not going to bring in Gen Z.
Well, what if you
bring in millennial?
What if you put Logan Paul in a Marvel movie then?
That would be awful too.
There's nothing they could do would make sense to me as a win.
It would feel somehow more forced.
Yes.
Because Logan Paul gets to come in. One of the first things that I remember seeing was he jumped from the top rope out to the announcer's desk while holding a phone and live streaming it. If you did that in a Marvel movie, it would just come across as cheesy.
Yes.
And stupid.
Everything they do comes across as cheesy and stupid.
Yes.
But it's not just a Marvel problem. I think that it's just a superhero movie problem in general, that Gen Z is just not interested in that genre. And they're not really going to the theaters either. That's not even to absolve Marvel of their own mistakes, because we've just talked about this theory that which director was it? Joe Russo?
The one from Captain America.
It was one of the
It was
Russos
either Joe or Anthony Russo.
who were
one of them.
complaining about how Gen Z has ADHD, so they're not capable of watching movies, and that's why Marvel isn't making money anymore.
No,
And I
Because
said
Gen
that's
Z isn't the one
that's
going to
BS.
movies anyways.
That's BS. But also that doesn't mean that Marvel has just been like doing a bang up job this whole time.
Maybe I'm just bad at guessing people's ages, but when we go to the theater, because we review movies fairly, I mean, it looks like I'm seeing millennials.
Yeah.
Millennials and Gen Xers.
People with kids
Yeah.
too.
Either you have kids or you grew up on it.
I'm seeing
Gen
nobody.
Z is working at the theater.
I'm seeing nobody with broccoli haircuts calling the movie bussin'.
Well, that's why. Well, that's why the Westview Theater, they have that new feature, like the seats move, like it's more of a
I heard about that.
experience.
yeah, an
Oh,
experience.
40X.
Where your seats move, they blow air in your face. They have the lights.
I don't know if I want that.
That's
Yeah.
really like a Disney ride.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of, but it's not great because I went and tried it, and this is what they're doing to try to get a younger audience to come, to
And you
come
weren't a
watch.
fan?
No, I mean, it was stupid and it didn't go with the movie. It was just like annoying. Like, don't make me spill my popcorn that I overpaid
Honestly,
for.
that would be
Sounds messy.
It would be really funny for like the theater to troll you, where it's just a scene of two people talking. And
It just starts violently
And
shaking.
the
you.
best would be like a movie, it's like a movie with an electric chair scene, and the seat doesn't do anything until the electric chair scene, and then your scene just starts your seat starts violently shaking.
That would be hilarious.
They turn up the heat in the theater. Make you feel
We
like
know
you're
what
burning
Brett
up.
would do if he was in charge of those
Yes,
seats.
I would. That would be amazing.
You would do sadistic.
But
things.
I want that. Have you ever seen those like anti-sleep beds that like violently shake you awake when you set your alarm?
Honestly, I would rather that than an alarm, though. I hate waking up to alarms because I feel like unless it's obnoxious, which makes me it startles me and then it throws off. I feel like it throws my day off. But then if I have it like a nice soothing song, it will be in my dream for a while.
Yeah, it doesn't actually wake you.
It doesn't wake me up, so I don't like it. So I feel like a bed that shakes you awake would be I feel like I would prefer that over.
Marvel should do
anything
that
else.
because they're putting everyone to sleep anyways.
Yeah.
Does anybody here care about Disney Plus? I've actually started watching. I don't have Disney Plus, but I'm using someone's Disney Plus, and it has Alias on it. Well, everybody else mooches off my account.
I mooch off Brett. Brett mooches
I
off
thought you
other
had
people,
all of
and it's
them.
like
I don't have Disney
full
Plus. I don't
circle.
have Apple TV. I don't have.
You know he got HBO.
I have
only one.
HBO. But the point is, I was watching Alias recently. That's on Disney Plus.
That's on
and-
Disney Plus.
Yep.
Because it's an ABC.
Yep, it's an ABC show.
Is that
Okay.
the one with
Jennifer
what's her-
Garner.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but I just imagine that most the young people aren't watching Disney Plus because Disney was more important to millennials. Again.
Well, I like it for the nostalgia of watching like the older movies, like because does it have the Lion King? I just watched Tangled, which isn't that old.
Which one?
Tangled, the Rapunzel movie.
And that's not even that old, right?
Yeah, it's not that old. I love that movie though. I love I don't even know if they have like the Fox and the Hound on Disney Plus.
They
I
probably do. They have a lot of
because
the old.
I love those movies. They make me happy.
They have the old.
Yeah, I like Disney Plus. I have actually considered getting Disney Plus before because they also have all the old shows that like I grew up with.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they have like Even Stevens and like all these
Oh,
shows.
yeah. Remember
that
Phil of
are
the
total
Future?
throwback. Yes.
That
They had.
one was
I
crazy.
watched Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Chevy Chase, which was a movie from my childhood. So like, there's stuff on there. But again, I just imagine that is more fodder for millennials
Yeah.
and Gen X.
Yeah, Gen Z just wants to watch Mr. Beast and TikTok.
Dude, my sister, like one of my sisters, I have a lot. She likes to just watch these Minecraft videos,
Yep.
like constantly with this. Like it sounds like adults trying to sound like children. It's really disturbing, and I don't even know what they were talking about. It just was very odd. I'm like, this is
Wait,
what you
what are
want
they
to.
talking
Creepy,
about?
some of it.
It was just random stuff and like, but,
Skibbity toilet.
yeah, but in baby talk, like it was weird. I'm like, you spend how much time watching this?
Dude, there's so many grown men out there. A lot of them are married. You'll only see their hands in these videos, but they'll do like, for example, Paw Patrol goes to the park and they buy a bunch of Paw Patrol toys. Yes. Like kids love this. This is what Gen Alpha is watching. And they like play pretend with the dolls. This is a
with
huge
their
niche.
grown ass man hands.
I mean, that's been a
in
while.
the
That's been
video.
around though for a while.
Yeah.
They used to do the puppets though.
Do you remember?
Yeah, good point. Their hands were covered, so we couldn't tell who it was. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
it was grown
it's
ass
a
men
You know
though.
what
huge
started
market right
also was when adult college kids started doing real life Quidditch.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
what
what?
do you mean? That's where it all started?
I'm saying like that's like I'm thinking like that was several years ago, and these were college kids that started like real life Quidditch leagues.
Like tournaments.
Yeah, and they just run
Interesting.
around on a broom on the ground and play Quidditch. Or they have like the horse jumping leagues where you use the fake horse.
Oh my gosh, those videos are hilarious. I highly recommend people.
Wait, what
watching
about the
those.
girls who like trained themselves to run like horses?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and they
Oh.
I thought you were talking about the ones where they get the fake play.
No, that's
toy
what I'm talking
horses.
about. That's
No,
what
I'm talking about
they are on. All
I'm
fours?
talking about the girls who have trained themselves to run and jump on
On the
all
horse
fours.
stick. Oh.
Not
Did
on
you
the
guys?
horse stick.
Did
We're
you see
talking about the
those?
same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The little.
I'm gonna
horse
have to
stick.
find
and
this
there's like
and
actual
prove that it's
competitions
real,
where you go
because-
where you pretend to
I've
like
seen
trot
that.
or canter like a horse with a play pretend like horse head on a stick and go over jumps.
What is Netflix? What part of Netflix is attracting Gen Z in any way?
I like to rewatch shows all the time.
So rewatch. I mean, that's what I use most things for, right?
Yeah.
Is rewatching. I watch very little in the way of new content unless it's something that we're reviewing. But most of the stuff that I watch, and the nice thing about at least things like Hulu and Netflix lately is a lot of these services or a lot of these companies are starting to relicense out their stuff. They're putting shows that for a while they would pull and only put them on their own streaming services. Like HBO is like now allowing their stuff to go out to other services again. So you don't just
Okay.
have to have all of them. Like Netflix is reacquiring a lot of other things.
That's
so
good
like
because
a lot
it's
of
so
things-
annoying.
Like it's very consistent that if you look at like the top numbers for streaming charts, it's usually old shows.
Yeah.
It's The Office, it's Seinfeld, it's
I watched The
NCIS.
Office.
Which
It's-
I don't get because you can just get that on like a DVD box set or something.
I'll
you
tell
don't
you
have
what,
to
'cause then
pay
you have to-
$10 a month.
Most people don't have something to put a DVD
don't
in
have
though.
a
They have a
DVD player.
Roku or something,
Bro.
Or put on your
Chrome
iPad.
device.
I don't know.
Having to get up every 4 episodes and take a disc out and put a new disc in is a certain level of hell.
I use alternative streaming sites.
Alt sites, yes.
So,
Arr.
like Tubi.
Like Tubi. Unironically, the Roku channel is actually pretty good. I have noticed a problem though because I've tried to watch stuff on Freevee again. They're basically like crack dealers where they give you the first 2 episodes with like 2 ads. And then after that, it goes to 5 ads. So it's like,
Sorry.
oh, here, ads aren't that bad, huh? And you
First
get
one's
2
free,
30s.
buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just evil.
it is evil.
It's evil.
It's a slippery slope.
All right.
Someone, Someone
go.
mentioned Gilmore Girls in the comment, and that's another show that I love Netflix for. I've watched it so many
Anything that has
times.
like 7 seasons like that. you
Yeah,
know, like-
Supernatural and
22
Gilmore Girls.
episodes a season.
It took me forever. I finally got through season 2 of Supernatural.
Oh, really?
I finally got-
The first 5 seasons are the
That's
only
what
thing
I've
that's
been
worth. Don't commit to the whole 15. Not worth it. Just the first 5.
You could. It took me 5 years to get through season 2.
But it's so good.
It's good.
Why
It's,
would it take you that long?
Okay, so I'll tell you what was happening. So, I'm really invested in the idea that you don't have to love the pilot, but you have to think pretty highly of a pilot.
You didn't think
episode.
highly of the pilot with the woman in white?
It just. I watched it and I would get through it. And it was fine, but the
Okay.
next 2 episodes just never
Don't hurt
did
my
anything.
feelings,
just
Brett.
never did anything for me. Once I got through there, and then I would, but it's not like one of those shows where usually if you're gonna like something, I'll then start watching a bunch of episodes at once. I never fell into it enough where I wanted to watch a bunch all at
I
once.
bet you would have liked it a lot more younger. I
Maybe.
feel like because my brother's the one that got me into it, and I feel like he kind of used one of the main characters, Dean, as kind of a role model in a sense. Not completely.
We don't have male role models anymore. You're stuck with Dean and Sam. That's what you get.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No, he liked how loyal he was to his family and stuff, and he
Yeah.
thought he was he had protector vibes where he was a strong, showed as a strong man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
That's nice.
Yeah, so I feel like he liked that. So, and then he got me into it, and then you know why the girls watch. But I also think it was written really well. I really like the characters, and I do love the show.
In general, the premise of the travel across the country is perfect for me. I love the X-Files for that exact reason. Traveling across the country, going after these mysteries.
Yeah.
But perhaps I will make it further eventually, but I'm not there yet. So, all right, let's do some super chats.
Andrew Jacobs said, Mary, how many cases of Zins to not book Pearl? Did I say I was planning to book Pearl? I just said, like, you know, if she had been here when she was on Culture War, like, maybe we would have pulled her in the studio, but we don't really have the option right now.
Somebody in the chat said this guy loves to hate me.
What?
I'm not the hater of this
That's why I
group.
got him the Care Bear pillow.
You can't
for
steal
Secret Santa.
You can't steal my valor as the resident hater.
Mary's the hater. Like Supernatural is one of those rare examples of a show that I keep trying at and then just never got the whole way through. It also might just be the premise. Like the constant jump scares I just find annoying. I don't find it entertaining.
They don't do that a ton. I feel like in the first season was probably where they tried that the most.
Also, if you've ever done work like in either film school or production, and you understand how cameras work and how shooting works, then you just see them coming because you've learned to see. I was like, oh, framing right, panning left. I wonder what's going to be behind him.
Well, Wesley also loves Supernatural, and
he does,
and he likes the way that it was filmed, and I love. And it's funny because he like showed me a few things and what certain angles and or whatnot is like what it means or what they're trying to convey or what they're trying to do. And so I rewatched Supernatural after we had that conversation. I think he sent me a video too to watch, and it was fun. I don't know, I enjoyed it.
Brett's just hating.
Look, I'm allowed to have.
Do you need your Care Bear pillow?
He's
really
in the chat, God of Peanuts says Fringe was a good show too. Yes, I think Fringe is also another example of a show that played off the X-Files themes and in a lot of cases did better in many episodes.
John Bert said Melbourne weather report, a top of 55 and cloudy. I don't know what 55 means in Australian.
Is that Celsius?
55 and cloudy. Shane H. Wilder said, Happy Woman Wednesday, Brett, Mary, Sarah, and Sarah. Brett and Mary, I trust you are feeling better. I'm sick, but I'm definitely like not that bad off.
I wasn't feeling under the weather. I was fine.
You're fine still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
No
let's do one
Diggity
more.
said this work site has gone 0 days without Taylor Swift. That's not true. It's been a while since we last spoke of her.
We did like one thing last week, but before that, like after the Super Bowl, it just wasn't anything for.
She disappeared. Basically.
You guys talk about the biggest pop star in the world on a pop culture podcast?
That's crazy.
How dare we?
When there is a genocide.
All right.
When there's a genocide going on.
Let's hold off on the
Sorry.
rest and let's come back after the fact. We got more to do. All right, let's talk. Mary, you're going to have to tell everybody here, I'm guessing most people here, just what the hell Hagmaxxing is.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure. Meet the Hagmaxxers. These are Gen Z males who are done dating Gen Z females and have instead turned to date millennial women. And they call themselves Hagmaxxers. And that is derogatory,
Yes,
of course.
millennial women, you should be offended by this.
So I cannot find any proof that this ever existed.
I don't care. It's awesome even if it's fake.
Here's the description. A very strange phenomenon is making its rounds on social media. Gen Z men are ditching casual sex with their women to pursue long-term relationships with financially stable and experienced millennial ladies.
Wait, I
In
thought
this
that...
economy, okay. I mean,
In this economy,
I thought
yeah, that
that,
is funny. So they're just becoming sugar babies, right?
I thought that...
well, we are in a society of weaker men now, right? I mean, just weak people, people in general.
I thought you said that Gen Z isn't having sex anyways.
Not statistically as much as prior generations, true, but I think this makes sense if it's true, because Gen Z women, I think, are going for millennial men because Gen Z men just kind of don't have their shit together. And then
That's just called being a
Gen
young
Z
male.
men are left with the only option is to date the millennial women.
Oh, they did a like switcheroo.
Yeah, they did a switcheroo because millennial men are like not dating the millennial ladies. They're like complaining constantly about how they can't find a guy, and maybe Gen Z men are the ones that they should go for because they're looking for a sugar mommy.
I know a couple scenarios where
it
this
should have been
has
called.
happened.
I said this to Mary earlier, and Voltage Mike says it. Wait, no, it wasn't. It was Ellen Garcia. It should be called mommy maxing. Hagmaxxing is just rude.
I think
That
both
is
are
rude.
pretty weird. I mean, hagmaxing is insulting. Mommy maxing is just kind of perverted, and you really can't win. But yeah, they show this graphic.
Older adult female maxing.
A 20-year-old guy and a 37-year-old woman.
20-year-old chick. I thought they were like comparing.
No, that's supposed to be a male.
Oh, hold on, I'll put it on screen for people.
I'm
to
pretty
see.
sure that is supposed to be a man right there.
Well,
it's hard to believe.
It's a Gen Z man. I mean, sure.
That's yeah.
It's very
the ponytail,
Peter Pan-esque.
They're like 37-year-old women are bussin' for real.
They got booty and everything.
And you know what? This also makes
Apparently.
sense because, you know, women in their late 30s, early 40s, they're technically millennials, right? And
Yes.
they look better than they used to at that age these days. Like, you've got all the skincare treatments and all of these, like, they stay really fit. Most of them actually have delayed becoming parents.
I think a lot of it has to do with
less
like,
stressful lifestyle.
Like 3 years ago or 4 years ago was the first time water was the #1 drink in America rather than soda. Yeah,
that's
so it's
crazy.
Like people just aren't drinking soda as much.
Well, I sent you this tweet. Like, this is what 38-year-olds looked like in 2005.
Yes.
And they all, I mean, it's partly the fashion, it's partly the haircuts, but genuinely, like, they look so much older than 38-year-olds do today. Because I guess people are just taking better care of themselves. We live more comfortably. But, you know, I think it's honestly sad because Gen Z women are letting themselves go at such an early age for no reason. And it seems like the millennial women are, like, taking better care of themselves because they're actually, like, you know, they're on the dating market still, when otherwise, like in prior generations, they would have already been married.
It's all the women started wearing baggy pants, and it was a slippery slope from there. That's the problem.
I don't blame the baggy pants, you know, but obviously, you know, it's easier living than it used to be.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Less stress. They're coming right out of college. They're getting great jobs. Women are graduating college at higher rates than men now. They're out earning them in the job market. They're getting their Botox young, and they're going to stay young forever.
I think they're starting to realize that you know, women are just becoming more successful at life than men these days, whether that's because of DEI initiatives or what. It doesn't really matter because, I mean, women are starting to realize they're not going to be able to find a guy who makes as much money as them, who has the same, like, degrees as them, has the same, like, social status as them. So, you know, if they're going to settle, it might as well be with a guy who's younger, who has a good excuse for not having his shit together, right? Which is just being young.
But I feel like it's not going to last. They're going to get fed up eventually because this guy's going to, like, these younger guys, I feel like, are going to look at her as almost like not as mommy. But as someone that will take care of them, so they will never grow up. Men need to have that space, and they shouldn't be with someone who's already put together, because then where is their drive to actually grow, which is usually later for men than it is women.
That's a good point, for sure. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's inherently weirder for an age gap relationship to have an older woman.
Right, because I mean, when they're 25, this woman will be in her 40s already. And I mean, eventually your looks will fade.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want a family too, I mean, I know some people get mad about it, but I mean, women do need to, if they want a family, they need to think about that at an earlier age.
Maybe these Gen Z guys don't want to.
I mean, that's true too. They don't. A lot of people actually, a lot of Gen Zs don't. I mean, no one wants to have kids.
I always found that point mute. You know, I know a lot of like the Red Pill podcast people and stuff like that. I'm not saying I disagree with everything or disavowing everything they say, but this whole idea of like the stereotypical 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds because they're more fertile. I completely disagree because, well, first of all, you should have gone with 18, maybe 18 and 28. Then I would have agreed. But also, a lot of, like, some guys don't want to have, like, 7 kids.
Right. I would say most at this point. Most people report that they only want
guys.
like 2.
That's guys and girls these days. Both the guys are black-pilled because of the economy, and the women are black-pilled because of climate change. And everyone's black-pilled for different reasons.
Wait, climate change is still a conversation?
Yes, it is.
Everyone's kind of like infertile and autistic.
Is it really?
Yeah. Am I wrong?
I really am not on the internet enough to.
The internet has
Everyone
destroyed
is
people's ability to socialize.
Yeah, I know a lot of like women. Honestly, coming from California, this was the norm. Not the whole dating younger, but I do know a lot of women that were like in their late 30s who were dating men that were 10 plus years younger than them.
Wow.
Because they wanted to settle down, and you know, they were having trouble finding men their own age that were either like single, or if they were single, they weren't single because they were like weird. Or like, you know, had some kind of issue.
Like, usually if you're at that age, I mean, there are exceptions. I really don't completely agree with it, but people say like if you're single at that age, there's a reason for it. I mean, but life happens. A lot of things of things you can't control, and there are so many good people out there that
How
are
dare you
older
be
and
nuanced? How dare you?
there's so many people who are older who are amazing people, and just life happens. Things don't go our way sometimes, and so I say that. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
I'm sorry. On Gamer Maids, we do not censor ourselves.
We try, but it's not a huge deal.
Okay,
as long as it's not in the first
Actually,
2 minutes.
the most
it's probably fine.
the funnier part of that is like usually when we swear or say those words, it's an inflection on a very important point, and yours was just kind of like.
Well, I forgot my point, so that was
Didn't
why.
Tim come on and ask like if he's allowed to swear on this show?
Yes, I was like, I don't know,
like,
man.
bro, you're
Tell
in
us.
charge.
Yeah.
But I think like I've noticed that Gen Z women are better off dating millennial men who are more ready to settle down. Like there's all this talk of like women are not wanting to settle down, but men are also acting like that. They're also like
That's not a gender.
delaying shit as long as possible. So
For sure. Like millennial men didn't want. I mean, like I feel like as a millennial, like growing up, I don't think marriage was promoted at all. Like until recently, as of lately, people are realizing that was wrong.
I mean, it's still not. That's only because of the space you're in. You're in a space where that's a discussion that we're happening. This is a niche space. Conservative media, especially if you, God forbid, you sit on conservative Twitter and you have to listen to these discussions. That's not the conversation going on in the real world with normal people. It's not marriage. It's not like marriage is being promoted. Normies who are getting married, that's just because it was ingrained in them based on family values. But you're not going to get mainstream media pushing that on you in any sort of way. It's not promoted in movies or television.
No, the family unit's being destroyed.
There's
right now.
a very big point that they make that television tends to lean into the idea of found family. Of your own, a family that you build through friends and colleagues and loved ones, not your family, because they want to disparage the idea, because usually family in television and media is used as a source of antagonism, not a source of happiness.
Well, now you're seeing promotion of age gaps in Hollywood where the woman is older. So maybe that's planting seeds. It's like making people
I think it's
see that as more appealing over time. Like there was that Jennifer Lawrence movie, and then the recent Anne Hathaway movie in which they're playing women who are like 20 plus years older than their love interests.
Which is always funny to me, because every couple of months there's an article about the inappropriate age gaps from movies past, but because it was an older man and a younger woman, it is now looked on less than fondly. But
which is like 100 times more common anyway.
I'm saying, like, this is why I point out that movies don't reflect as much of reality as they used to, because back in the day, you were able to unabashedly approach issues that were part of the real world and talk about them in movies because there wasn't the constant internet backlash. Now they have to go into these niche ideas because these niche ideas are the ones that are promoted by the people that would give you backlash for the more commonplace ones.
Well, this is, I mean, just statistically, this is just a meme. So I'm looking at surveys right now that find the average age gap of romantic relationships in the U.S.
5 years.
It's not 5 years. It's usually 2 to 3.
Ooh.
for when
very,
the woman
very small.
is much older, or just age gaps in general.
In general, yeah, the majority of couples have an age gap of only 1 to 3 years. I think that's probably a symptom of people meeting in college.
Yeah.
Because that's quite small.
Yep.
But yeah.
I just don't see this as
It's not common.
I don't see that. Other than the name, I wonder how much of it is just.
Is HAGMAXXING going to take over the culture?
No.
Is it the next big thing?
I would say that the marriage rates for this will be unbelievably low.
Is this not from stepmom, stepbrother stuff?
I was going to. Okay, I refrained from making the point.
Okay.
But this is predictive programming from porn.
For sure.
This is just MILF porn predictive programming. It really is.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how much porn has influenced our culture.
But it's in everything now.
It's in everything.
Every social media act, every movie.
Where I said, like, there was the dude who gave an interview from one of these companies that said that they used to make, like, porn about, like, husbands with the babysitters, but they don't do that anymore because nobody can afford childcare. Like they follow trends.
So sad and for all the wrong reasons.
Yes, that's the world we live in. That porn is your window into the unobstructed truth of the world.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's getting more violent, and then there's more like reports of violent sex as time goes on, and like more reports of death during kinky sex. Like I've like read about the research related to this, and it's actually, believe it or not, the media you consume it does affect you.
Yeah, I think people believe that they're immune to it, but I've noticed this over the years. Now, part of it is because like when you go to rehab and you have to actually pay close attention to how you're behaving and how like the world around you affects you, I would notice that depending on what I'm watching, especially television shows where you get immersed in something for longer periods of time, the tone of that show would affect my mood. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. And that does happen. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're not paying close attention to it.
That's why I hate watching sad movies.
There you go. Well, but I think movies are different. Like I feel like movies, especially if you go to the theater, that can be a cathartic experience, even if it's a sad one, because it's the whole process of going to the theater to do it. You've left your home, you've went out into the real world to have this experience. Whereas if you lock yourself in your room and you close all the blinds and you just watch a show for 8 hours and you watch something super depressing.
Well, that's why I haven't watched Eternal Sunshine for like the longest time, because I don't want to do that.
Maybe if it's people closing the blinds and watching dystopian television all day, and now they think the world is falling apart. That's shocking, right? But it's not shocking. It's just the world that we live in being reflected back at us and us putting it back out into the world.
All right, let's catch up on these. Shane H. Wilder said, Corey, we all think your jokes are stupid, LMAO.
Who said that?
Shane H. Wilder, thank you for that. He also said, White Boy Summer 2024, let's effing go!
And then the other thing that they were talking about in the article. By the way, the article from Daily Mail about Chet Hanks was absolutely unhinged. It spends like 2 paragraphs describing what he's wearing and talking about.
I think it's AI that writes those articles.
But they talk about how like when he said like I think it's going to be a white boy summer, he talked about all of like the really, really bad cope responses. They're like, the last 1,000 years have been 1,000 white boy summers.
Yeah. It's just you can't win.
He's got to come celebrate MAGA month.
Yeah,
they're gonna overlap.
MAGA month and White Boy Summer at the same time. Let's go. Shane H. Wilder said, minus Florida man tries to evade police by playing Frogger across busy highway. The dude yelled, "I'm sorry," before running in the road.
See, I hate it when that happens.
Don't play Frogger IRL, guys.
Do 2 more.
Pat the Plumber said, how can you go on PCC when there's a femicide going on in the Congo?
Yeah, so somebody in the chat earlier, I glanced and they said genocide is funny. No, nobody thinks genocide is funny. What we're saying is that...
How can you joke about genocide when there's a genocide going on
in Gaza? Okay. That's the point. Is like, if you lived by that logic, you would never be able to enjoy anything ever because there's always something bad going on somewhere.
No one here thinks that genocide
It's like when you turn on, they're like, a woman is assaulted every 40 seconds. Somebody dies every 30 seconds. I'm like, so I'm just supposed to
suicide rate would go straight up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Sorry.
We are affected by that. We are emotional creatures. Like, you know.
You have to be able to divorce yourself from the evils of the world and laugh, like, regardless. Doesn't matter. You have to be able to. Yep. If for no other reason than if you want to change the world, you have to make sure that you're stable first.
Balance is everything.
Correct.
New guy, don't haze me, said, in honor of his dad, Chet's next quote, life is like a box of white chocolates.
Ah! That's amazing.
I love that.
That's perfect. All right, let's move on. It's time to keep going. Time to talk about the problem that feminists have with toxic male gamers.
Yes, feminist gamers are currently waging war against the problem of toxic male gamers. It feels like this story has just been going on for over a decade.
Well,
at this
technically
point,
it has because Gamergate was 2014,
yeah.
right?
Last week, this female gamer went viral because she made a video explaining why men are actually the problem in the gaming community. If a gaming community even exists, it's so many millions of people that I don't feel like it's a community, but whatever.
No,
But what's the problem?
She's saying men are the problem.
But
what
are they causing?
Don't ask
then?
any questions.
Let's
hate men more.
Her explanation.
Their fault.
It's because she's a victim, okay?
That shirt
I
on
love
her is
yeah.
the problem.
Well, again, like we were talking about earlier, like every platform is now porn pretty much, and it's like, why can't we leave gaming? Why can't we leave movies as movies? Like, and then have porn sites. It was available. Why did we need to have it in everything now?
You should run for office.
Oh, thank you.
I love that.
This is kind of quiet, so you guys are gonna have to listen.
Okay.
Last 10 minutes in a COD lobby is not, nor has it ever been, a valid excuse for men to act like pieces of human garbage in gaming. I shouldn't have to play a game where all I say is hi and the whole game is thrown and I'm in hell for the next 40 minutes because men are being emotional about it. That is not normal, and that's not how the old COD days were, because I promise you, as a man, you have never had somebody throw on the basis of your gender. That doesn't happen. You can say it happens. You're lying.
Okay, I want to ask a question about that. Does the insults you receive on the basis of gender make it more insulting or somehow worse than just insults in general?
No.
Because I feel like what she's saying is that I can take all of the evil insults, but as soon as you insult me based on my gender, then somehow it's worse.
That's an HR violation.
Yes. Patricia in HR is going to yell at you if you do that.
It's a hate crime.
It's gaming. I mean, it's just trash talk
Can someone
constantly.
translate this gaming like lingo? What
Throwing
when
a
you're
game.
in a lobby?
It's a Call of Duty lobby.
Okay, so when you're waiting
Like,
to
when
go
you're-
live.
when you're playing with other players and
Okay, and you're like getting the
in your
team
voice
together.
chat, yeah.
That part. Okay,
No,
cool.
your voice chat. And so we'll keep going.
Sorry. I don't know why that's such a common thing in the comments of my videos. You guys want to be
She's not
oppressed
visible.
so bad
Nope.
that you'll look at a man telling me he's gonna tell me to get back in the kitchen and say it's not a woman thing, and say that happens to you too. It doesn't. There's a reason.
But the stuff that men say to each other on the internet and in general, if you've ever played sports and you trash talk, is just as evil and awful, because that's how men
Just
communicate
kick their
when they're
butts.
when you're competing, right?
That historically male-dominated
She's not
spaces
visible
are
again.
known
Oh,
for being
Is this-
toxic and
Oh,
unsafe.
okay.
That goes for gaming. That goes for sports. Any male-dominated space is a bad one. That's not me being sexist. That is me saying there is an inherent issue with the way that you guys have your locker room talk that makes everybody else feel unsafe.
No, it only makes you feel unsafe,
But
because
women-
men, it does not make them feel unsafe.
You're sitting in your room alone playing a video game. How are you unsafe? Sorry.
Right. And I mean, there's women locker room talk too. It's not like they don't talk trash and shit. I mean, I don't know. Like, if they're just talking.
What does
talk
women
shit.
Wait,
trash
finish
talk
the
like?
video. It gets worse.
Okay.
I don't know how you could possibly find it fun to make other people feel unsafe. No woman is asking men to make gaming a safe space with
That is
sunshine
false.
and rainbows and everything, but could you please be normal? Because I want to be able to enjoy playing the game without my life being threatened, without my body being threatened, because I'm existing as a woman. And men are the ones making it unsafe. And I do not care if you feel targeted by me saying men, or if you feel attacked by me saying men. You are part of the problem. If you feel attacked by that, you're part of the problem. If you say just mute them, you're part of the problem. If you sit there and let them say that to me and you don't intervene, you are part of the problem. Because I have a lot of
she's
male
a
friends,
hypocrite.
normal male friends, who don't
Intervene on your own
say words
behalf.
and don't threaten people and just play like normal. I understand it. It's not all men. But if you are not one of the men doing this, it is entirely on you to help stop the men who are. If you don't understand that and you don't understand power imbalances and gender hierarchy, it's not my place to teach you. I'm not your mother. I'm not your teacher. Close the game for 5 minutes and educate yourself. But stop making this a bad experience for everybody else who's just trying to play the game.
Yo,
I'm not your
No.
mother, but I'm gonna nag you for 15 minutes. about
okay, I
how-
play games. I never have a problem. And one of my favorite things is my dad's girlfriend. She'll play Call of Duty with my dad, and I've played with them a few times. But one of her favorite things to do is, like, because they'll be in the proximity chat, so they can talk with everyone. Like, you don't have to be in a party to talk to each other. And she'll go around and just act, like, my dad thinks it's so funny, because I forget what what they're playing, but it's kind of like a... well, you come down and then you have to collect guns and stuff. So she'll go up to people and be like, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a woman. I need help." Or like she doesn't know how to drive, so she's like, "I'm just a girl." Like she'll just play it, kind of. But and then people will be like, "Oh, like we'll help you because she's a girl." And like she has so much fun doing it, and like she's never had problems. And then some people might talk trash, but if you really have that big of a problem with it, you can mute it. You can go
But
to a
if you
different
say
level.
mute it, you're part of the problem. If you say mute it, you're part of the problem. You can't
If
say that.
If you don't understand gender hierarchies, you're part of the problem. And it's not my job to teach you.
I hate the whole mentality, like, someone should have intervened for me. Like, why didn't you stand up for yourself?
Right.
If you're such a badass bitch, why don't you stand up for yourself?
Right? That's the part that lost me. Clearly, you're just not good at talking smack.
Right.
That's why they keep
It's a skill issue.
Or maybe
It's
she's
a skill
also not
issue.
good at playing games. Like, I don't know who she is. I don't know how her gaming is, but maybe she just isn't that good.
That's
Like,
also a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing RuneScape.
Thank you.
I remember playing RuneScape in like 5th grade and having a female character and still getting sexually harassed in that video game with those pixels. So I can't imagine what kind of harassment's going on today when you can actually speak to each other. I'm sure it's brutal, but like just that's the real world. Like she's very sounds very sheltered, very
think
entitled.
about it,
You have to
though.
intervene on my behalf in a way that I think is good enough.
It's probably a minority of men who even use the voice chat.
They're probably
in a
like
lobby.
14-year-old boys.
And then a minority of those who even say the things that she's saying.
It
she's
doesn't
been
matter
told, like,
even if it's a majority. It does not matter. This is how trash talk is done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it says here. The idea here is to come into a space and then fundamentally tell you to change what you have created for yourself, and then use guilt as a means of doing so.
$20 from Vexkin Kilrog said, it's just trash talk. Can't take it. Use mute, block, don't read the chat. It's not that hard, LOL. Every game has it. Even just doing, what is this? PUG? Pug Dungeons / raids in World of Warcraft. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if she is just making some of this stuff up for a reason to complain.
The idea that any guy playing video games would give a crap about gender hierarchies is ridiculous.
And like, how do they know she's a girl before they start playing? Do they know?
They said the second you hear her voice.
Okay. Well, I mean,
She should just go on testosterone and lower her voice.
Right. I mean, she
And-
could without that too.
I'm just
they're throwing the same energy at
There you go.
everyone. It's just that she happens to be a girl and is like internalizing those girl-oriented insults when they are being different insults are being thrown out to different people.
Victim
all the time.
mentality.
It's kind of self-centered. I think it does have to do with cell phones and technology and like our selfie culture. I think partially people forget that there are other people in this world who have their own reality. They have their own history, thoughts, perceptions of life. And yeah, it's just all it feels very personal when it's not personal at
think-
all.
She just hates men. I think she just hates men because there was this other clip of her that got reposted where she is talking about how much she hates men, that if she had a son, she would force her son to like transition or be gay. This woman just hates men.
So she would abuse
No,
her
it's
child. so
over,
she
Ina.
is
It's
horrible.
over. Like, if I were to have a boy, we better pray to God that he's gay. We better start indoctrinating him day one.
But you know, you
We
need
have
a man
either
to have
make
a
him
baby.
trans.
Yeah, where does that come in?
Not.
Her
We better
boyfriend will
start
be the most
indoctrinating him
neutered
day one.
soy boy.
We have to either make him trans or make him gay. We are
God.
not having a cisgender straight.
No.
Yeah.
So sad.
Wow.
How underappreciated.
Look,
men are
we're told
sometimes.
all the time about like women's spaces, but gaming is, historically, this type of gaming is a male space, and everyone's welcome as long as you're willing to, accept that the space isn't supposed to change just for your sensibilities.
for your safety.
And it's an insult to all the people who do, not necessarily fit in when they join, but are willing to join the culture and not ask it to change. You're hurting all of them as well.
Right.
And the idea that the only way forward is whatever she suggests is bonkers. It is. I almost can appreciate the complete lack of the complete hubris of assuming that you can just force everything to change and bend to your will. But that is actually a lot of what leftism is now, is just entering a space and just complaining until it bends to your will.
Yeah.
Wanting them to change their nature of being shit talking 14-year-old boys, but she doesn't want to change her nature of being a woman who is too soft to be around this type of environment.
This is what happens.
Comes along with gaming.
Yeah.
Which comes along with
And
gaming.
she doesn't have to talk to them.
That was made by men, that space, right? So she's going into a male space, and instead of changing, because feminism was basically like women can do what men do. And so men were like, okay, fine. You
Now
can come
that's
into
true.
our
As long as
spaces.
they can change to be like the women, they can do what the men can do.
Yes, exactly.
Also, like now that she's rage baited all of these people talking about how bad men are and how toxic male gamers are, she then posts screenshots of mean DMs that she receives in response and says, see, I was right the whole time. I am a victim and you all are toxic. So yeah, she posted this screenshot of someone telling her to get her fat, ugly tits out of here, you effing whale.
I love the my favorite type of tweets, for instance, are the ones that purposely say something stupid and then say, I seem to have set the one recently was the guy who, like, it was the two people flipping off the Mount Rushmore. Oh. And then it says like F this country, and then all the responses are basically saying like, and then he's like, oh, I seem to have pissed off the racists after saying like stolen land. And then everybody gets mad and pushes back and says, no, not stolen land. And then they're like, oh, I have upset all of the racists. It's like, well, when you say something stupid and then people respond, that tends to be what happens.
Yeah, he said in the DM, he said people are mean to you because you say stupid effing shit like that. Automatically makes you unattractive, which is what you're trying to do, or your fat ugly tits wouldn't be out. Please know you are so effing gross, and it's no surprise men cannot stand you. You are not a woman.
And this is a symptom of people wanting both the right to speak their mind, but not being willing to take the backlash that comes with it. Right? Everyone wants to be able to make their opinions heard, but nobody wants to be able to put up with the backlash that comes
Someone
from
should go white knight in her DM requests.
I got you.
Go fight for her.
Yeah, I got you.
Sad, because she really just wants to be saved. She's a damsel in distress.
It's very sad when people can't just go, look, I played sports. Part of sports is to say things to each other to try and psych them out. It is a tactic. It's not an actual threat.
Yeah. When women enter like a predominantly male space, they can change it without even doing it, like going anything out of their way to do that. Like, it's just the nature of the male space is that there's no, I mean, I don't know exactly what men do when they're alone.
Yeah.
But it seems to be important. And we should probably just leave them to it and not try to F it up. Not talking about gaming in particular, but anything really. Yep. And, you know, if you've been a woman that like walks into a room of all men, then you would palpably feel the change in the tone of conversation and what people are doing and how they want to look in front of a woman.
And you know what's interesting about this woman is that instead of like she is throwing anger and hatred at this issue as a way to solve the problem, whereas you could also look at it as like, this is what men have to endure every day. Well, I mean, I won't say every day. I don't think all men are logging into like Call of Duty chat rooms or whatever. But for the most part, like if a guy goes out into the world, he's going to have shit talked to him and he's going to have to learn how to throw it back. That's the kind of guy that you should want and would want, is a guy that can actually handle that.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
not to be shamed for it.
And if you've ever gone into a game and didn't talk and listen to the guys, a lot of them do the same trash talk to each other. It is just the environment of trash talk.
The point she makes there is she makes it about gendered-based trash talk so that she can separate that. And that's
because they say get back in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. Whereas
okay, so tell them to go back to war. Just clap back. Like, I don't understand. You're in this type of environment.
I'm curious, too, about what Mary was saying. Do you feel like if there's a bunch of guys hanging out, like your skater friends, okay, and then a girl comes along who's not a skater or anything, like she's just a friend or whatever, a girl or two come in, are you guys going to act differently? Do you guys do that?
Yes, everybody acts differently around the opposite gender.
Your lizard brain just starts like sending you signals.
Even if you don't think you are, you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's why the idea about people not having their own spaces was always evil. Yeah. The idea that Boy Scouts had to become the Scouts just so that girls could be there, rather than doing the rational thing and doing some type of program where girls can learn things traditionally taught at Boy Scouts and boys can learn, I suppose,
Those
if they
things
wanted
already
to.
exist. It's just about invading.
Yes, it's about invading a space and taking away your ability to feel comfortable around just the people who share, similar things to you, just boys or just girls.
Yeah.
And now women are, honestly, that they're kind of getting a comeuppance on that right now with what's going on in women's sports.
Unfortunately, that like idea of you deserve to
I'm not saying
get
it's
the
fair.
same thing
I'm not saying
thrown
it's
back
fair.
at
I'm
you.
saying that
Like,
that's what's happening.
It doesn't actually make any progress for either gender.
But
it just means that we're all in the same muck.
And
Like,
but the problem with that is, like, women, when women did it to men, whether it's men's only clubs or the Boy Scouts or something like that, it was cheered on as a progress for society. Those same women are still doing that even as their own spaces are invaded, because they have been brainwashed so heavily they don't see the problem.
What sucks is that there was just an assumption of malice involved if there were ever a space that didn't have women in it. Like, there was an assumption that, like, they're all in cahoots together talking. Like, the only thing that the men talk about when the women aren't around is how much they love excluding women. And, like, it couldn't possibly be for any other reason, which is that, like, men just want to have, like, camaraderie with each other. And they do different things. Like, when women get together, we talk, and when men get together, they just do things without talking, and it's different.
I love those memes or whatever, which is like, the girl, he's cheating on me, and it's like the boys, and they're like burning something, or like it's on fire, or they're jumping off of something high that they definitely
exactly.
should not
That's
be.
how they bond.
Yeah,
and, like, that's fine. I wish that people could be a little more fair about that, about the differences between us.
All right, let's go Super Chats.
Yep. Carnell said, come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's gamer maids. Welcome back.
That's you
yeah.
guys should make a Wayne's World Noah's Arcade.
Do you have a
Gamer Maids
jingle?
we do have a song. I will not try
But
to
it's
sing.
not that, is it? That's
No.
not that's okay. Potatoes for Seamus said, hail gamer mates.
Yes, let's do it, you guys.
That Stanzatastic said, whenever someone is explaining a reason to do something, we must answer with, well, you JoJo see why the earth is flat. Insert whatever here. Shane H. Wilder said, JoJo sounds like the sisters from The Simpsons.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. She really does.
She doesn't even smoke, which is the craziest thing. She just screams all day. Rhaegar Targaryen said, thanks, I had no idea why JoJo Siwa was famous. You're welcome. And Rhaegar Targaryen, Brett, the actresses for Nebula and Gamora are hot. Who?
Karen Gillan and Zoe Saldana? Am I right about Zoe Saldana?
You're right about Zoe Saldana, the other girl.
Oh,
was
she's in Doctor Who.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Amy, I do.
We've
think
talked
so
about her
too.
before.
Yeah.
The redhead.
I love Amy.
I did
Aurora.
not
She's-
realize that was her in
She's
those movies.
not allowed to be popular because she's a redhead. She'll be replaced eventually. By
But
someone.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth
is holding
Olsen's
her
very
own.
pretty.
It could have been the Little Mermaid.
Brie Larson is very pretty. Okay, nobody can deny that Brie
Yeah.
Larson is very pretty. She's just very annoying too.
Yeah.
You know.
Corey Anderson said, Sarah Jane, French toast, waffles, pancakes, rank 'em.
Rank.
Which one?
I love waffles and French toast. Pancakes are last. I'll say
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I just don't know where to put waffles and French
hard,
toast because
man.
it's like it depends on my mood, and they're both so good and they're different. I'll always say waffles before pancakes, but sometimes I like my French toast. So I don't know. Can I put them at the
which one is first?
You gotta pick one.
You can't cop out.
For the rest
Okay.
of your life.
Okay, French toast as long as it's a really thick bread. Okay, I gotta go with
yeah.
that one.
We have the same ranking.
All right, cool.
Love that. That Stanzatastic said, who's excited for Toy Story 9?
I ended the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Taylor Swift
I don't know why
wins.
that's so funny.
What can they do after Sporky?
Who's excited for Toy Story
had a-
12?
It starred what was that, the fourth one? It starred a spork, right?
It's,
They're running out of ideas.
I ended
man.
the poll.
Oh, no,
Taylor
they
Swift
did
won.
Lightyear.
Oh, who won?
Taylor
Taylor Swift?
Yep.
Shocked.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. John Bert said Raymond's... Okay, I can't say that.
What?
I can't say
Is
that.
it inappropriate?
It's inappropriate.
Okay.
It's racial.
I was gonna say, can Brett say it?
I mean, Brett, if you want to say it,
I can't see
it's
it.
from John Barrett, but it's way up there. Corey Anderson said, "Has Sarah seen The People's Joker for old time's sake?"
We no, and we're not. I'm not bringing back The People's Joker.
Technically, Sarah has seen it.
yes.
No
Yes.
and no. Shane H. Wilder
I have
said,
seen
in the 50s, there was a horror movie called The Tingler. When the monster attacked, they had shockers in the seats to shock people.
That's kind of awesome.
That's crazy.
I'd go. I would go to that. That's fun.
I would not do that. What if one of them malfunctions and you just die? Shane H. Wilder, bless you, Mary, for the sneeze. Thank you. I appreciate that. Corey Anderson said, Sarah, in regards to Gigi, Dean, Jess, or Logan?
Jess. For the best boy. If I'm assuming they're asking who's the best boyfriend for Rory. Is that what they're asking? I would have to say Jess. He fit her best. Logan was a child, and Dean was just not a good fit, and also kind of childish. I mean, they were all very young guys, but I think the best fit and who cared the most about Rory and her journey in life was Jess. He wanted the best for her.
Yeah. Was one of them played by Chad Michael Murray? Was he ever on that show? Or I may be getting it mixed up. Never
He
mind.
was in One Tree Hill.
That's what it is.
No.
I swear, I think he was like a love interest
Was
on
he in
Gilmore
One Tree
Girls
Hill?
for a moment. He was on One Tree Hill though as
Yeah.
well. That's how he's like what he's known for.
Pat the Plumber said Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover was awesome.
Yes, it was.
There was a Scooby-Doo crossover?
Yes, it was. It was incredible.
How is that even possible? Like, how did they do it?
I don't know how they were able to do it, but they did it, and it was amazing. You should watch it.
Wait, did they have like an animated Scooby-Doo?
It was, yep.
In
They
live
became
action.
animated,
Oh.
and it was like
I love it
Scooby-Doo,
when that
and
happens,
Dean
yeah.
got his dream come true and got to try to date Daphne. Of course, she was only interested in Fred, but it was cute. And then Castiel and Scooby
Do you
were
remember,
friends.
not to take us on a tangent, but do you remember that night we went out and we asked people to compare who was better, Keanu Reeves or
Yes,
what
Jensen
was-
Ackles.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles was cuter.
They're
And
like
he won.
He
Did
won.
you get a
He
result?
won.
they're like 20 years apart in age.
Well, you can look at them at the in their
Yeah,
prime.
no,
like
it
whenever
was in
you.
his, Keanu in his prime. Like we're talking speed Keanu. But everybody chose the blonde. He won. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but it's true. He is the most attractive. He is the most attractive man to ever exist.
Ever.
Wow.
Yes.
Ever. Bold.
I will say it.
A bold statement.
And he keeps getting more attractive in his age. I'm sorry. Like I don't know how
Men
he
do
does
that,
it.
man.
Yeah, some men do.
It's not fair.
Depends. Some of them do the twink death. And
Yeah, some
Never
do
come back.
not. They drink too much. They get the red face. They blow.
Yeah,
it gets
but
bad.
a man
And
who takes care of
you know.
himself
red
versus a
face
woman.
is such a thing, isn't it?
It is. It's
Why
so
is it
bad.
they just turn red?
They drink too much. Is the problem?
Is that a drinking thing?
I
Yeah,
think
like
it's
the red noses. Or like
and
the-
their noses get a lot bigger from alcohol too.
Oh.
I mean, our noses always, I think, keep growing technically, but
Yeah.
with alcohol, it's worse, and
Into
that's also
yours.
the red. So.
Zach Yandel said, I don't have a DVD player. Wah. Sounds like a personal problem. You can go to Harbor Freight and get a working DVD player. Bless
Harbor
you, Mary. Thank you.
You can get a DVD player at Harbor Freight.
I don't know
I don't even know
why
what
that
that
would
is.
be there,
I feel
but
like that's like a troll to see if we'll go and do it. And
Like,
then
we're
there's,
actually gonna-
And then we just walk around to Harbor Freight for 20 minutes, and then they laugh at us.
Can
when
we
ask
help
me,
you with
"Where's the
anything?"
DVD? Where
Yeah,
the
what is
DVD?
that?
Is that
Better
like
look
Radio
at
Shack?
Goodwill.
I was gonna say like a thrift store.
they're definitely not at Best Buy because they stopped selling discs of all kinds.
They might
Really?
still have DVD players and just no DVDs.
You could probably
Yeah.
get one for like $2 at the thrift store though.
Or on eBay, or I mean, that's
Yeah.
where I buy that's where I used to buy the VHS players that I stockpiled.
Yeah, I feel like my parents used to use eBay. I've never figured out eBay, but
I used to when I
you
was a
gotta
kid.
go for it, man.
Like when I would try to get on eBay. I wanted to, for some reason when I was a kid, I really wanted a typewriter. I don't know why.
Typewriters are good.
It's very hipster. of
Get you that for your
When I was
birthday
younger, I
party.
was like obsessed with the idea of having a typewriter.
It just would
look
make me
fun.
like
I
throw
like-
a tantrum if I had a typo and had to restart the whole damn thing.
I
Maybe
well,
will
I
check
just
Harbor
don't.
Freight.
Wait,
Maybe
what?
we'll find a DVD player
what
at
is
like Tractor
It's like-
Tractor Supply.
So now we're looking for
like a discount, like tools and
Yeah.
It's mostly guys go there. They have lots of tools.
Cheap tools.
Yeah,
Cool,
cheap tools.
cool.
It's yeah.
Zach Yandel said, I mean, soda is getting expensive. Is that why people are drinking water? Soda is expensive. Yesh sent emojis. I think they're all supposed to
Hockey
represent
stick
us.
and puck. Ice skates. Looks like a figure skate, not a hockey
It's for
skate.
you.
Ghost.
The ghost is me.
Rainbow.
Rainbow and
the
mermaid.
gay mermaids.
Yes.
Yes, and then coffee.
Yes. Coffee lady.
Love it. Yeah.
Pat the plumber said, can't hear a word she's saying. Thank God.
I'll have to.
The gaming woman.
I'll have
not
to
us.
bump that up when I'm doing the post on the audio version.
Prince Elian said, when did they start making talking sex dolls? I don't think they would look like that if
Like,
there were.
that's not what the sex doll would look like.
That's
Oh gosh, you accidentally get a feminist sex doll. What do you do?
there's a bug in the system.
I mean, that's kind of what. Look, they destroyed the way women comic book characters look. Why wouldn't the feminists like inject themselves into the sex doll industry and make you you know what? That we're not that long off where somebody's like, we need realistic body standards in sex dolls. Where are her organs?
Dude, yeah, no. Okay,
I
Hollywood,
could say a lot right now.
original idea for Hollywood is they come out with a movie where the feminists unite and they put a virus in the sex bots. That
would
turns them
be
all into
cool.
feminists.
Yeah.
And then the
yeah.
men don't want to have sex with them anymore.
Will they like put like a device in the sex dolls that makes it like castrate whatever man is?
No,
like
they
their
just repeat
owner?
whatever that girl was saying.
And the sex doll just nags you and bothers you.
Maybe just nags you
all
to
day.
you're
death. It just nags you
and
until
doesn't
you
wanna
Talk about
lose
your
the will to
feelings.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said her first mistake was being in a COD lobby and expecting things to be all sunshine and rainbows. It's all shit talking.
It's a war game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously. Shane H. Wilder, look, I've trash talked with my buddies playing chess. It's part of male bonding and helps build up a thick skin. Wow, during chess. Like, what kind of trash talk would you hear during a chess game?
I mean, it's like when I was explaining to you
I
yesterday.
bet your queen is a hoe.
Your queen looks like she's put on weight. It's like when I was explaining yesterday that, like, look, growing up skating, if your friend fell, once you made sure that they weren't seriously hurt, you made fun of each other.
Yeah.
That was part of the culture. Oh, wow. Stitches. You're going to be even uglier now. Like, that's, you know.
Yeah.
Part of the culture.
Strength.
But there's a line, right? There's always a
Yes.
line.
I
It's
mean, there's
just
some
not-
things that you won't make fun of.
Yeah.
That are, people have, like, good people have boundaries on what they will, make fun of people
Yeah.
for.
I mean, that's important. It means, you know what that means? It means you know your friends well enough. It means you care enough about your friends to know what not to say.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
Did you ever
true.
cross
Beautiful.
the line when you were trash talking?
I've crossed the line.
Really? the face when you said that was
That's why I try to make
priceless.
sure that I, like, for the most part, like, I don't know if anybody's, like, crossed the line.
Do you have an
like,
example of like when you know you?
Dude,
you
I feel like
fucked
Brett
up?
could cut you.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't until you really pushed him. For like
yeah.
a
Oh, 'cause
long
I
time.
feel like Brett is an observer, so he
Oh, yes.
really would know
Yes.
what point to hit, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, for the
Don't
most,
mess
that's
with
why I
Brett.
also try to make a point to say, like, look, pretty much nothing is gonna, at least if it's about trying to get personal, like, you can make fun of just about anything and it's not gonna really offend me. Not
Yeah,
really.
but when you have crossed
Yes.
the line on
I'm
someone
not gonna
else,
share. I'm not gonna
It was too specific,
I mean,
wasn't
and
it?
it wouldn't make any sense to you because it would be about a specific person and it's kind of a more, yeah.
After the show, we want to hear your
After the
singers.
show, we're gonna get
And
the
usually,
the tea
no, I'm gonna keep that to myself.
because it makes you look bad.
Yeah.
At least he's honest
Brett's
about
got
it,
that,
though.
long
He's got
time
that
ago.
dog in him. Like he's got that.
It was a long time
I got
ago.
that dog in
It was a long time ago. We're good.
Okay. BLK and Mild said a lot of people.
Black and mild.
Is it that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was BLK. A lot of people who game online never played real sports where language can lead to a foul. Regulate ranked matches and let unranked matches be the place to say anything, like an NBA tech foul.
Well, a good thing is, like, look, if you anger someone and they attack you, then they get fouled. That's good for you, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you want to provoke an emotional response. The key is that men learn to quell their emotions in those spaces. Women are encouraged to
The
be
NFL
whiny.
players just take it out on their wives after the game.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, that was a lot. Surenko Productions said glad to
And then the guy said this about my mama.
Oh my god.
Surenko Productions glad to see Sara
I'm with an H, so that's what he calls
on
me.
PCC again. Great job again.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you later on Gamer Maids.
It's over 9,000 said to prepare for Woman Wednesday. Brett had to look in a mirror and say, I summon the very fact that I am a man.
I was basically right before we went live, I stood outside the studio and I was the Ben Affleck meme. It's like,
You had the cigarette and the Dunkin' Donuts coffee in
Yes.
hand.
yeah. But to the point we were talking about the insults earlier, like the best thing you can do is learn a healthy sense of humor about yourself and the traumatic things that have happened to you in your life.
I've heard you and Dane.
Like the amount of
Off
things
air.
that Dane will say about dead family members or that friends will say about dead family members, if they know that you're okay with going there because you've, learned to deal with the things that have happened to you, it's cathartic, it's not awful. and
Dane's the
it's-
best.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't go there with you. Like I don't think I do, right?
No.
Because
no.
I'm autistic and I know I don't understand the subtleties.
And it's different because we're like, when you have to do the show 5 days a week, that's a little bit different, right?
It's risky.
It would, like, something might get
Might
said.
ruin the vibe.
Well, not just that, but then something might get said that doesn't have context and might look
Oh no, I
way
mean like
worse.
off
Like,
air. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean off air. We don't really
No.
talk shit about each other. I think.
No. That's not really a thing.
Actually, we both do self-deprecating jokes.
Yeah.
Like.
That's the other reason people can't insult you if you're good at insulting yourself, right? Like my favorite meme
Which
is
is
the
you
one,
to a T.
It's the meme from the Scorpion King with what's his name's character. It says like when somebody insults you, but it's one you haven't heard before. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Like it's like if somebody makes fun of me for being short, I'm like, come on.
Well, then it's almost
material.
impressive. Like, wow, I didn't think of that.
Catches you off guard. You're like, ouch. Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah,
Yeah.
respect.
I always remember the most cut. Like if somebody just says like, "Oh, you're ugly and stupid," it's like I'm not gonna remember that. You got to really learn how to cut. If you're gonna...
Yeah, that's a good point. If someone tells me to go into the kitchen, like how much is that really gonna hurt me?
Yeah.
But if someone was like, "You wear stupid flower stuff every day," we've noticed. We've been talking crap about
Do
you.
I?
Never noticed, but yeah, it's like the personal ones are the ones that hurt, and it has to
Yes.
come from like usually. I mean, it's like a cliche, but it's your significant other that can definitely cut you the most. But again, you got to laugh at everything.
There's a great Chris Rock bit about that. You should go listen to it.
Mr. Joker said Daphne is going to hell.
Yes.
From Scooby Supernatural. Shane H. Wilder said you can literally get a Blu-ray player from Amazon for $80.
Oh, rip off.
High voltage 75 out of 20. Did we miss that one?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Sarah on PCC again. Halo Hump Day, let's do it.
Let's do
Brett,
it.
Timberwolves are in their first conference finals since 2004 tonight. Where's your hat?
I have Timberwolves. I don't care about I'm 5'5". I don't care about basketball. I'm short. Yeah. But just by virtue of being short, I don't care about basketball. But
You don't feel represented.
I don't feel yes, I am not properly.
watch
Muggsy Bogues retired years ago. I am not properly represented in the NBA. But I do have Timberwolves hats. Perhaps I will wear one. I have a Kevin Garnett jersey somewhere, or a Stephon Marbury jersey somewhere. Maybe I'll do that at some point.
Zach Yandel.
They'll lose. Don't worry. It's a Minnesota sports team. They will lose.
Zach Yandel said, well, next time the money guns break, Harbor Freight.
There you go.
To get what?
Is there like strippers are us to get money guns? Someplace? Like,
Strippers are up.
where do you get
Well,
money?
they were from Amazon, weren't
Yeah,
they?
I think so.
Shane H. Wilder said, more like you used the Queen's Gambit. Hot gay.
Gay?
That's the kind of roast in chess trash talk.
Like I feel like there's a skit to be done about like polite trash talk in chess. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then there's one
there's
more
more,
from
right?
Corey Anderson
Corey Anderson said, did y'all skip my $20 super chat? What do you mean?
at the beginning. Oh yeah, no, we've got one up here. Sorry about that,
Oh,
Corey.
I didn't see it in the spreadsheet. It's not here.
Okay, let's see. It says, to the overweight gamer girl with the chesticle window, Call of Duty is not for you. Go somewhere else. Eat butter and play Sims. Do not breed. Try not to eat the upholstery or get winded before getting out of your chair.
Oof.
That is true, my friend. Don't.
That's what she needs to hear.
Probably.
We're gonna hang until we get the third crisis party. I will.
We're literally like a millimeter away on the crisis meter.
Can we
from
know how far?
I don't know how much
guys.
I don't know how much a millimeter is in currency, but
How much it costs.
we're very close. And it literally just
Oh,
came through.
okay.
We were on the delay there. So we got all of them. You know what that means, guys? We're going to have a post-credit crisis party, unless, of course, it comes before we are done. But before we go, guys, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel, please, if you have not done so already. And Sarah, thank you. Sarah with an H thing.
Yes. Yes,
Sarah,
of course.
let everybody know where they can find you, because you're about to go do that.
Yeah, I'm actually, after I get off of here, I'm going to run downstairs.
Literally
and
run?
Yeah, literally. And you guys can see me on Gamer Maids. It should be live right now. I just saw Matt make a comment that it is live right now in the waiting screen. We're going to be playing Halo today, Halo Infinite. So if you have that downloaded, you can join our game today and play with us. So it's going to be a good time. Yeah, Halo Hump Day. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, you know where to find me. Castbrew.com. Buy our coffee. Follow us on Twitter at CastBrewCoffee.
How's the coffee doing these days?
It's doing great. The business is booming. We're getting more wholesalers. Like, it's all Allison. I'm not going to take credit for it, but it's going great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Another super chat from Shane H. Wilder. He said third party. Yes, we have made it past. Right?
Yep.
We're going to get it any second now.
It'll be a crisis party.
Thank you for that. You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archive, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archive. Thank you very much.
Perfect, guys. With that being said, if you would like to follow me, Instagram and Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon Pacific, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify if you would prefer to listen rather than watch that show. And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook, and not TikTok because we were banned, at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.